Good morning. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a fabulous time this morning, this evening, or this afternoon, wherever you are watching currently in the world. I hope you're having a fabulous time. This is going to be an absolute epic scrap. I cannot wait for this one. Just absolutely unbelievable. Good evening and welcome to the Radical Sim Racing World Cup Final, Heat 1 from Road America. I am James Parfitt, and as you can see, joining me this evening is the one and only Daan. Pepels on camera. You actually get to see us live, looking dapper with our ties on. Looking all gorgeous this evening as well. So much love if you are here. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's bring Daan in straight away. Daan, good evening to you, sir. How are you?
Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening, James. Yeah, I'm doing absolutely amazing. I'm thrilled to be here for this Radical Sim Racing World Cup final. It's going to be an amazing one, James.
Absolutely. I think these guys have been fighting out all season. Now, the interesting thing, we have got European pros, the European AMs, the America's pros and the America's AMs all on track at the same time. 35 drivers whizzing around Road America and then moving on to Interlagos. I think this is just going to be an absolute incredible race here this evening, and I cannot wait for this, Dan. I think we're going to be in for a right treat.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And what a track this is to start it off, of course, Road America. Well, one of the better tracks on iRacing. Definitely one of my favorites, James. It has a lot of, up and down, and it's, especially that last corner can be proven really, really difficult.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be the thing. They're going to have to be careful around turn 1 and turn 3 before we go rushing down into turn 5 down the Moraine Sweep, because I think at the end of the day, turn 5 is going to be where we're going to see most of the action, I think, this evening. And that's what we've got to look out for. So welcome in, everybody, if you are here. Eric Hanoi, David Waters, Paul Crabb, 99.6 Mayata SC. If there's an abbreviation, please let me know. That would be absolutely amazing. But if you have joined us, guys, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bells for notifications, and give the video a big old thumbs up as well, because that would be absolutely incredible. Road America at the moment, 6.41 kilometers set in the city of Elkhart Lake. You know, we've got a lot going on at the moment, Dan. We're going into 10 minutes lone qualifying. We'll be entering into there within the next couple of minutes. Then we go to a 30-minute race. You know, I think overall, this session, the way that they've got these set out now, this is the one of the sort of the best World Cups that we've had, including the one currently going on in real life, of course, because, you know, we can all celebrate the fact that England have got through and the Netherlands have got through as well. Eric Hanoi, nice tie. Thank you very much. Pulled out the pink for you this evening. You know, what are the drivers going to be going through, Dan? Because this is it. This is what's going to make or break their season. You know, they've worked so hard. They're coming into the final. 35 cars whizzing around one track.
Well, it all comes down to this evening. And I think that also adds a lot of pressure to the shoulders of these drivers, of course. But I think or as a driver, you would look at this weekend or look at this evening like every other, because, well, in the end of the day, you want to perform the best you can. And if you do so, I think you can already be very, very pleased, because there are a lot of quick drivers here with us.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. You know, when you've got the pros, you know, Daniel Sedgley, Lucas Vieira, they're all here this evening. You know, you got the AMs, Graham Brown, Johan Moncada. There's a lot of big names here. And I think that's what makes it interesting. You know, I haven't looked at the strength of field, and I really don't really want to, because you've got 6.5K drivers. You've got nearly 2K drivers. You know, there's a split there. And I think they're going to have to be careful. And I think that's the thing. They are going to have to be careful tonight. And I think that's going to be one of the things we are going to have to look out for, because if they're not, then it's all going to go wrong. And I think that's the thing we don't want.
Well, these starts are going to be crucial, James. And I think, well, let's just say that with so many drivers on track, usually when I think we start the endurance or anything like that, we see about 20, 22 drivers on track. We have 39 drivers in total. That's going to be a big, big grid of drivers. So getting through that start cleanly is going to be absolutely key.
Yeah, and how are they going to do that, though? Because, you know, we've seen it before where they all rush down into turn one. They've got that run down into turn one. They've got the fast right-hander of 1, and then you go down into 3, and then you go down to 5. Now, please forgive us if you think we're not counting properly. We are. We just don't include the silly little corners that have been documented within the racetrack guide that tells you there's a turn 2 before you get to 3. But yeah, it's pretty much straight, Dan.
It's let's just say that on some tracks they do that because on a motorcycle it is a turn, but that's not the case with this one. I think even with a motorcycle, this is still a just straight track, just straight on.
I think it's pretty much straight on. I don't think that we're gonna sit here and be like, oh yes, there's a corner there when really there isn't. But I hope everybody's having a fabulous Sunday as well. I hope you're all not too cold, because it is very, very cold here.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is as well. So let's have a chat about the final itself. So we've got 2 circuits. We've got Road America and Interlagos. Points are going to be allocated down to 10th place in each class. The first gets 20, second 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. They get a point for pole position, and as well, they get a point for the fastest lap. And I think that's going to be one of the things, because there's points there to gain, isn't there, for the pole position and the fastest lap. And that's going to be able to boost their numbers up as well. And I think that's going to play key tonight.
Let's just say, James, that for us, it isn't it making easier in keeping track of who's where. But yeah, a lot of things where you can pick up points for, but also only 2 races here. So you do not have the chance to, or you cannot have an off race. You have to be on it from the word get-go, and it's going to be absolutely key that you're there from the start.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. They are going to be looking for a good point haul from the beginning, because it is only the first 10 places that score points. Okay, so it is first 10 places that scored points, so be aware. Welcome in, Phil, across the pond. Good evening, James. Hope you well. Hope you got your heated seat on. Well, Phil, good news. I have. So there we go.
I wish.
Mate, I'm sat here with a heated seat, so a nice little gentle massage going on.
I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous of you.
Hey, it's cold in the UK, mate. We have to do these things. You know what I mean? We pulled out all the stops this evening, so why not pull out the heated seat as well? So yes, Phil, I do have the heated seat on. Now, one thing we are going to let you know of, guys, as well, we're not going to be doing interviews at the end of race 1 because we've got to change sessions. We are going to be doing them all at the end of race 2. So we will have race 2. We will provide interviews, hopefully with the winners. And as I say, we will try and keep you up to date with the scores. Sandro is in the background sending them through to me. So hopefully we'll be able to get them loaded up, ready to go. So there we go. Look at that, Luke Maxwell, nice tie. They're loving the tie this evening. We brought it on for the final, Dan, didn't we?
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally you usually don't see us with ties on. Usually, when the camera's not on, James, be honest, we're sitting here in our underwear doing commentary.
Well, that's the thing. We're like, we're like TV people where we wear the shirt and tie, but underneath I've just got, a pair of boxers on.
Yeah.
You can't see underneath me. So, that's where we're leaving it as at the moment, and that will do as far as we can concern. We will be going into qualifying very, very shortly, so that's going to be one of the things we have got to look out for. We've got about 27 seconds remaining. If anybody was going to have any questions, let us know, and we will try and bring you the answers as best we can, all right? So bear with us all while we get all the information together as well, because obviously, there are currently 35 cars on track. So we will bring you all the information. I was hoping no one was going to mention the tie. How rude, Paul. Not very nice. You know what I mean? Picking on my tie. Hey, it was either that or a Christmas tie, and I went for this today. So
It could also be me, James. Don't worry. It could also just be me.
Well, it could be because they haven't actually put a name to that as Paul Krabs. So there we go. It could be you as well. Into qualifying we go, and this is where the action is going to be now with all of these cars on track. Well, I wouldn't like to hazard a guess, Dan, how this is likely going to be turning out, to be fair, because I think I wouldn't put money on who was going to be where and who was going to take the victory. You know, we've got close qualifying, so they do have 10 minutes of close qualifying to try and get the cars on track. Let's flick over to the live screen so you can see the cars on track. Okay, so there we go. That is the current Road America circuit here this evening as well for us. So let's keep an eye on how this one goes and go from there. As always, whenever you go into live TV, it produces an issue. Just bear with me while I resolve this issue. There we go. That's better. We can see the cars now rather than the flybys on the track that we're taking part in this evening. Not quite sure why they wanted to come on, but there we go. Qualifying 10 minutes close quali. As we see Sven-Jørgen Mathiesen there go off track at the moment. That's not a good start from him. So the drivers are on their outlaps. Just about, we think, about three laps down maybe. We'll get them on track this evening.
Yeah, about that, I think. Well, could be one more. It's going to be close, though, but you have to be on it for the whole qualifying. You're not going to get a lot of laps, so it's important that you get a good banker lap in early on. And especially, like I just said, that banker lap, it's going to be a very important lap. If you do not have a good banker lap in, that should see you at the back of the grid at the start.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the interesting thing on how this turns out, to be honest. I'm really excited to see what these guys do, because I think they've got to go and produce it on track, but they've got to do it in a way that, you know, they do it fast, they get the job done. The car's slippery at the beginning. We know that already. We know what this setup of this car is kind of like at the moment. You know, Lucas Vieira is here. He's been exceptionally quick in the Americas. He took it with 1 round remaining. He didn't even have to show up for the last round anyway. You know, from the point of view here, how would you approach this qualifying? Because you've got 2 laps, Dan, 2 races. How would you approach the first qualifying?
I think, James, just as every other qualifying, it's important that you get out there early, especially with the length of this track. This track is a bit different with its length. It's quite a long track for these cars, so you do have to get out there early. Everyone is out there early, of course, on their own now, so not too many things to think about. Of course, slipstream, not a big factor here at the moment. Just everyone on his own now, everyone for himself. And it's important that you get a quick lap time in. For me personally, I'm not a good qualifier. Normally, I'm better in the race than I am in qualifying. I'm not good in either of or in both of the two. Let's be honest about that. That's the reason I'm here in the booth. But yeah, I would make sure that you have a lap time in early, and then maybe start to push.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Paul Crab has touched on it in chat as well. He said, big setup is okay at Road America. Interlagos is not so good. So that's going to be an interesting thing there as well. One of the things I want to touch on, it looks like Damien G has made the session. Now, he was touch and go. Whether or not he was going to make it, he had a real life booking with Santa Claus, booked his family in to go see Santa. So I hope they enjoyed that, Damien G. Well done for making the session. And Lucas Vieira is going to be first across what looks like across the line to produce a time. There are 3 people, him and Jochen Kjod and Sven-Jørgen Mathiesen as well. But it looks like it's Sven-Jørgen at the top of the moment on a 1:58.527. And David Rolliston leading the AMS on a 2 minutes 2:09. Only overtaken, though, by Paul Lemay. He's currently done a 1:59. Moncada's gone quicker, and so is Zuccarelli. And at the moment, it's Mathiesen on top of the pros. early on, it's going to be a tough one here in quali because obviously, you know, we've got so many drivers repping times. The timing tower is going to be going absolutely crazy. So, you know, bear with us while we try and bring you everybody where they all are currently up to date at the moment. But we've got Sven Young-Matheson on top, John McHutchison second, Lucas Vieira third, Rafael Blanco fourth, and then Kettle Larson is currently down in fifth place. Not bad times early on there, Dan. I think they're coming in quite quick and, you know, thick and fast.
Not bad times at all, but there are people already going quicker. We can see now Sven Jung, Angvik also going quick at the moment. So that pole position time, I don't think is going to stand for the moment.
Okay, well, let's see what Matheson can do there. Sven Young-Matheson from Team Slow-Mo. Lucas Vieira, John McHutchison, Rafael Blanco, Kettle Larson, and then Joaquin Kiode rounds out the pros. Zuccarelli, Moncada, Paul LeMay, Richard Quinn, Diego Iglesias, Olegon Stendrad, Aaron Griegic, Didier Thurbach, David Rollison, and Graham Brown rounds out AM. So be prepared for some absolute incredible action here as well. Would be great to have an overlay showing who's focused on camera. Well, if you look on the timing tower on the left-hand side, there is a white square next to the person who we're on currently at the moment. So the white square tells you that we're with Sven Young-Matheson currently at the moment, and he's gone quicker again on a 1:58.072. Okay, so I hope that helps you out and can tell you who we're looking at currently as well. So Paul LeMay is another man that's going quicker. He's mixing it up actually, Dan. If we bring up the overalls, Paul LeMay is sitting in a very nice, comfortable, well, fifth place there at the moment.
Not too far off though of him is Graham Brown, so he does have some AM drivers following in there at the top. Paul LeMay not the only one now in the top 8 of the AMs. Of course, we know that Paul LeMay is quick. We know that he's usually the one at the top of the AMs, but maybe we could see an upset this evening.
Maybe. Let's just see how it all pans out here. But I think Paul LeMay has done an absolute incredible job over the last few weeks in his racing. He's really come on and absolutely flying through. And I think from that point of view, it's going to be an exciting one here for Paul LeMay. He's just got to keep it on track. So that's hopefully the plan for Paul LeMay. So there we go. Hopefully from his point of view, he'll be able to get that done and be able to stay right up there at the moment. But we have got the incredibly fast Graham Brown. Graham had some unbelievable stats. 6 races, 6 pole positions, 5 victories. Unbelievable.
Wow. So he's basically got pole position in every race he did.
Every race, yeah. He was incredibly quick.
Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely incredibly quick. So, yeah, he just done an absolutely stellar job there as well. 2 minutes remaining, Dan. How are we looking so far here in the Radical World Cup final?
At the moment, it's Sven Young-Matheson on top, ahead of John McHutchison. Gap though, quite a big gap though, 4/10. As I say that though, Lucas Vieira goes up into second on 1:58.171, just a 10th off of Sven Jung at the moment. Not a lot of people going purple, a lot of people improving though, but not attacking that time from Sven Young-Matheson. Daniel Sedgley though in 4th, we know that he's quick as well, James. Thomas Renders also goes up into 6th now, so he enters the top 6 as well. Henning Haig is in 7th, and then we have the first of our AM drivers, Paul LeMay in 8th. And in 10th is Graham Brown joining him in the top 10. The one we're looking at the moment, though, Mike Busson is dropped down to 13 now. Matthew Morris goes up into P11. Jo Simpkins, though, is the one who is in P3, I think, in the AMs, if I'm correct, James.
Yeah, Just is currently from MJX there. He's currently in 3rd place. Diego Zuccarelli, Diego Iglesias, Stendrad, Moncada, Griegic, Graham Brown. Now, I'm interested to see Stephen Place has gone out, right, and done what he always does, and that is goes out, sets the time, and then he's normally at the back and he works his way through. So keep an eye on Stephen Place tonight, because I think Stephen's going to be looking at gaining places left, right, and centre. And Dan, one of the things as well, we were obviously gone up a driver with Damien G joining in. So 36 cars on track tonight. We're going to have to go whizzy through the grid, I think.
Normally, I think when we do the UK Sim Races one, I have to speed read it. So if you haven't seen me do that yet, well, let's just say that within a second or 10, we've had 20 drivers. So I don't think we're too bad on that, James.
No, I think we're pretty savvy on that one. No one's in the 157s as of yet at the moment. Daniel Sedgley is really the man that's gotten his last lap, and he's not going to get that in either. So the grid will be appearing very, very shortly for tonight's race. And what a night is going to be here as well. But the grid is up. And we've got Sven Young-Matheson in first place, Lucas Vieira second, John McHutchison third, Daniel Sedgley fourth, Kettle Larson is in fifth, Thomas Renders in sixth, Henning Haig seventh, Paul LeMay pole position in the AMs, Dennis Kiriakopoulos in ninth, Graham Brown in 10th, Mateus Moraes in 11th, Rafael Blanco is in 12th place. Mike Buson 13th, Joachim Kjod 14th, Hugh Simpkins 15th, Stefan Severo Hergo in 16th, Paul Clark 17th, Diego Zuccarelli 18th, Diego Iglesias 19th, Ole Gunnar Stendrad in 20th, Stephen Place is in 21st, Johan Mercado 22nd, Marin Grigic 23rd, Graham Brown in 24th. David Rolliston in 25th, Richard Quinn 26th, Paolo Brem in 27th, and then beyond that we've got Miles Owens, in Miles Owens in 28th, Didier Thurbo 29th, Ivan Bramer in 30th, Charles Krasick 31st, Guy Robinson 32nd, Stefan Mellis 33rd, Kevin Norton 34th. Beyond that is Damien G. So there we go. That was a nice, quick read through, ready to go. And I think we're going to be in for an absolute barnstorming race that I think, Dan, we're just going to sit back and enjoy.
Well, sit back and enjoy, I don't think is the right word. We're going to have to, well, I think, keep our eye out for who is where. But yeah, I think for the people at home, they can sit back and enjoy it because it's going to be an absolutely amazing race. I think we have 16 minutes left until the starting lights are going to be coming on. So James, take it away.
Yep, we're going to be waiting very, very patiently here this evening. So bear with, sit back, get your drinks and enjoy, because you're not going to want to miss any of this action this evening. And here we go, lights are on, 5 lights, and away we go for Heat 1 of the Radical Sim Racing World Cup Final, when it's Matheson out in first currently at the moment, closely followed by Lucas Vieira, closely followed by Daniel John McHutchison, Kettle Larson, Daniel Sedgley, there's piles up. Oh, Paul LeMay. Team Slow-Mo's lost his bonnet, Guy Robinson's off as well. And that, unfortunately, Dan, was not the start we wanted this earlier on.
Well, like I said, you can't be doing that, especially if you only have 2 races. That's them now, probably going to be out of it, or at least today. So, yeah, I don't think, James, that was on purpose. As we look now at the top 3, though, McHutchison making the move up the inside of Vieira. Can he make it stick? There's a little bit of a touch, though, on exit. Vieira all squirmy. They're quite aggressive early on here, James.
Yeah, Kettle Larson as well. Ole Gunnar Stenzel, Didier Thurbo, Marin Grigic, and also Hugh Simpkins is there as well. Joachim Kjod has dropped down the order. That is why. That is Warren Henry at the back there. Sorry, Richard Quinn. He's gone round at turn 5, which is where we expected most of the problems to take part. And this is where the problems have kicked off already. But this is the Mike boost on Stephen Place. And I said to you about Stephen Place, Dan. Qualifying, doesn't qualify, and he's up 11 places already. What an exceptional move from Stephen Place early on.
Well, he had to do that. He had to make sure that at the start he could take as much position as he can, because, of course, the start is the easiest opportunity to gain some position, but also, well, it's easiest to lose them. Already, I think we're seeing people starting to push it to the limits, because Vieira is the one we're looking with at the moment, the Brazilian driver. We come on to the end of the first lap here, James, and I think so far, apart from, of course, the incident we've seen at turn 1 and the spin at turn 5, not too bad of a first lap.
Yeah, there's a lot of battles developing here, guys. We will try and catch them all. As you can see, Ivan Bramer go up the inside of the last corner there, and David Rolliston had to go immediately to the other side of the track. Behind that, we've got Graham Brown. He's got a new livery on this evening, so that's exciting for Graham. But this is Dennis Kyrgiakopoulos, David Rolliston, and Ivan Bramer rushing down into turn one currently at the moment. How is this one all going to pan out? Going down now, it's Ivan Bramer. Whoa! Charles Krasik. Oh! He come in like an absolute rocket, Dan.
Luckily, he didn't collect anyone, though. He went in way too hot there, but yeah, like I said, luckily didn't collect anyone. Here we come down to turn 5. The top 3 still looking the same, James. What do we think? Is Matheson gonna try and get an early lead here and, well, try and defend that for the remaining 27 minutes?
Well, in ideal terms, that's what he's got to do. You know, he hasn't got a choice. He's got to try and open it up. We know how quick John is. We know how quick Lucas is. You know, Lucas dominated his season in the Americas, and he hasn't got a choice but to try and defend. The problem is the pack that's coming behind Sven Young currently. John McHutchison, Lucas Vieira, Kettle Larson, Daniel Set, they're all there, and they're coming fast, but no faster here than Thomas Renders, who's got Graham Brown, Mike Bousson, Stephen Place, and Paul Clark. So, you know, there's a lot of places to be gained here, Dan, and I think they've got to currently try and keep it as clean as possible.
I think that's got to be the moral of the story for today. Of course, keep it clean. You don't want to crash anywhere, because if you do, James, I think we can safely say that if you drop back to, or at least out of the points, it's going to be difficult for you to try and win it.
Yeah, exactly. This is Diego Zuccarelli here as well with the Damien G. Zuccarelli goes wide, G is through. Damien G, and also is rocking another new livery this evening as well, so that's absolutely stellar for him. Henning Haig is down in the pits at the moment, and this is why Henning Haig here with Daniel Sedgley. So this is Henning dropping out of 6th place on the last corner. Spins it round, gets out of shape, and in the wall, coming back in track. Oh! That's huge. That's absolutely huge. That's Graham Brown involved in that. Graham Brown is in the pits. Oh, unfortunate there for Henning Haig, but that was absolutely massive. Graham Brown in the pits there, as the computer has a funny 5 minutes. Just bear with them as well, but that was just unbelievable there from Henning Haig. Why the SDK software does what it does at the moment. But some unbelievable scenes there with Henning Haig. Graham Brown is in the pits as well. Didier Thilmont went off track currently at the same time. So we'll have to see how that one goes about and settles down. But at the moment, Sven Young Matheson there climbing out on front. I'm going to try one more time to get this back onto live pictures before the software completely drives me crazy. And it's just not having any of it.
Well, James, let's just say it always does is at the point where you do not want it to happen, sadly.
No, and unfortunately, it's kind of eliminated the overlay at the moment. So bear with while we do try and get it back to live pictures at the moment. They are Graham Brown, Guy Robinson. Graham is still running, but not doing well. This is obviously the Graham Brown without the H. And then, of course, we've got Graham Brown with the H, who's currently sitting in the pits there as well. So just bear with us. One more time, we're going to try again and go live.
Sadly, it doesn't work again, I think.
No, it's not
No,
having
we're still in
anything.
replay.
Just bear with while I try and restart the software. Just give me 2 seconds. Over to you, Dan.
Well, we're looking at the moment Graham Brown. He's at the moment currently in 13, up 11 positions from his starting position. Ahead of him is David Rollison from the Tiger team. He's in 12, up 13 positions. Ivan Bremer from Platinum Racing Team in 11th, up 19. So quite some good gainers here in the top 15. Biggest gainer from what I can see at the moment is, of course, Damien G in 15th, up 20 positions overall. So he's doing very, very well. Graham Brown, like I said, behind him is Guy Robertson. Not at the moment able to do anything about that pass. or cannot try and pass in, James. It's difficult here as we are back to live pictures, I think.
Yep.
Watching Graham Brown now, so luckily that's resolved.
Yeah, Marin Grigic is making his way through as well currently at the moment. That is going round the carousel, top part of the circuit. The Grigic, Mongada, Simpkins, they're all battling out for the AMS victory. So there we go. Hopefully we should be able to get all this settled down. Software problems usually rock solid. Yeah, I'm trying. Bear with me as well. We are trying to do a lot of things in the background at the moment as we've got 22 minutes remaining. And currently out in front is Sven-Göran Mathiesen by about 2.2 seconds. We've lost John McHutchinson as well. John has had to jump into the pits at the same time. Unfortunately, due to the software restart, we're not able to bring you that action. Hopefully this will settle down later on as we go. So just bear with. Today we will get it sorted out. But currently Sven-Göran Mathiesen is out in front. Mike Buisson, Thomas Renders and Stevens placed there down, having an interesting battle for 4th overall at the moment.
Well, we're almost 10 minutes now into this 30-minute race. Mike Buisson in 5th. Behind him, though, it is Stephen Place. 0.3 of a second that gap is. But he has a slipstream as well. So Mike Buisson on Thomas Renders. So he's not going to be getting too much here, Stephen Place. Of course, he is closer to Buisson than Buisson is to Renders. So he will gain maybe a 10th over that straight, but that's nowhere near enough to try and launch one up the inside. Of course, also teammates, so they don't want to, well, James, let's just say they don't want to make a ridiculous dive for each other and try and risk taking each other out.
Yeah, that's the last thing these guys want currently at the moment. This is a battle for 4th in class with Thomas Renders, Mike Buisson and Stephen Place. And then we've got the interesting one here of Marin Grigic and Johan Moncada. Moncada did say in his interview that he was going for the win. That's what he wanted to do, and he said, why else am I here if I'm not winning? And we kind of heard that quote somewhere before as well.
Well, it's not about participating for most of these drivers. It's about where they finish. Of course, it's already great that you are able to participate in this Radical Simracing World Cup. So it's going to, yeah, but of course, where you finish is important to these drivers. They want to finish well. They want to see where they can finish. And of course, if you know you have the ability to, well, be there at the top, you, of course, James, let's be honest, want to win this.
Yeah, absolutely. There ain't a shadow of a doubt here. And I think this is where it's going to be interesting now for Thomas Renders to try and really hold on to this position, because he's got Buisson behind him and Stephen Place, both from Team Radline. Buisson's quick, as we see that's Damien G coming out there. Buisson's looking at making a move down into turn 1. Is he going to get through? Is he going to get through? Is Renders going to leave him room? He is. Is Buisson going to leave Renders through? Room he is, as these guys go down now into turn 3. Is still Buisson trying to go up the inside. Oh, big snap there, Dan.
Well, he has to watch out because he doesn't have the best exit now. That's going to allow Stephen Place to try and make a move on him. He has the luck that he has to slipstream from Renders ahead. Renders now going to have to defend from 2. I think this Team Redline cars up the inside goes Buisson. Can he make it stick this time round? Yes, he can. Now the difficult uphill part where you do not have really a point where you turn in. It's a blind corner, but they get through cleanly. Renders, though, fending them off still.
Yeah, Renders is still out in front of these guys in 4th place. Sedgley's up the road, though, by 5 seconds with Larson and Mathiesen. So there as well. So also, don't forget, McHutchinson is in the pits currently at the moment. I'm also looking for Lucas Vieira. He's currently down in 7th place at the moment. Winner of the Americas Series, and is normally very, very quick indeed. Diego Zuccarelli is battling away with Warren Henry. They're both from the Americas as well. And there's also an interesting battle further down with Miles Owens, Stefan Mellis, and of course the recovering Charles Kratik, who completely missed his braking point and nearly went torpedoing in to the cars in front now.
Well, James, I think if we look, of course, at the battles between the drivers, there's also a battle between, well, Europe and America, because of course the drivers from America will want the drivers from America to finish the highest, to maybe we'll tell, well, we are the stronger continent here, but no, I'm joking, of course, but it's also that, and Stephen Place now making a move up the inside of Renders. Has he done it this time round? Yes, he did, and finally someone get past Renders. A little bit further back, though. Buson has dropped a little bit further back, though, James.
Yeah, he went off at the last corner and went over to the grass. And unfortunately for Buson, that's put him down further down in 6th place at the moment. Warren Henry and Zuccarelli are still having an amazing battle. Marin Grigic has got Moncada about 7/10. We are keeping an eye on it, so do not panic there as well. And Kettle Larson is another man who's got the looming Daniel Sedgley not far down at all behind him.
I, of course, know Daniel Sedgley. I know he's quick. And I think everyone does. 3/10 is the gap now to Kettle Larson. Kettle Larson's going to try and defend as hard as he can. Of course, he doesn't want to give this second place up in this first race. But it's also finishing second or third. If you finish there, you're still, let's be honest, James, you almost have the same chances going into the last race to win it. Because, well, second or third, the points difference isn't as big as first to second is. So if you just finish first in the next race, no matter where you finish in the top 3, I think you're still in with a great shot at it.
Yeah, I think you are as well. And Mike Buson is now back on to the back of Thomas Renders. Let's see how this one pans out. I am going to follow Kettle Larson and Daniel Sedgley up the start-finish straight as they're coming around the last corner. I want to see how this one pans out. Going along this long straight down. You know, this straight's longer than my high street where I live in my town. You know, my town could, well, that's it. We're done now. My town's finished. But Daniel Sedgley is using it to the best of his ability at the moment.
He has that slipstream, of course, down that long back straight. Not too long to go before they have another long straight into 5, of course, now through 1, 2, and 3. As, of course, they're now going to get down to turn 5. Of course, turn 4 in it. There it is. Before we go under the bridge, this is turn 4. The long turn 4, of course, the right-hander. Well, I personally think it isn't really a turn, but hey, it's called a turn. But there they go down the back straight. That essentially, can he make it sticky? He's going to have to do it around the outside, though, James. Not quite able to do it. Maybe he gets the exit into 6, though. A great move from Sedgley. He's going to have to defend the inside as Kettle Larson. It's not a corner where you want to be forced tight, because on the exit it's going to, well, hamper you, because of course you won't have the speed out. But Kettle Larson does defend successfully, and Daniel Sedgley, I think, James, is going to have to wait another lap.
Yeah, I think he is. On that note, Taurus as well. Unfortunately, we weren't, because we were trying to get the software. The software had frozen. So unfortunately, we cannot get the replay of what happened to McCutchinson there as well. The other Graham Brown has had an incident as well. I'm very wary about trying to show anything at the moment, just in case the software goes up the again, damn. And that's the worrying thing at the moment. But let's just, we can give it a go and see how it turns out. But hopefully, you know, it may or may not work. It's obviously clearly been temperamental at the moment. Lucas Vieira there as well. I think Kettle Larson was defending hard from Sedgley right at the point. I changed over, so we'll jump back on board with these guys as he's battling it out for 2nd and 3rd place.
Now coming on to the last couple of corners. The last corner this is Daniel Sedgley has 2 long straights to try and move himself up into 2nd. Of course, with this fighting, James, they're both losing time to the man who, well, has led from start to finish at this point, or from start to this point on. Svanjung Matteson, he's doing absolutely great there in 1st, but around the outside now on the straight goes Daniel Sedgley. He's going to break late. It's going to give him the room on the inside because he is still there. Kettle Larson is going to fight this one as if his life depends on it. He's going to go up the inside off turn 3 again. Not quite able to do so, James. And Daniel Sedgley finally has this done, but he has to watch out now because Larson now has a slipstream down this back straight to 5.
Yeah, down the Marine sweep they come. 13 minutes currently on the clock at the moment. Svanjung Matteson is going past back markers as well, but it's Kettle Larson on the left, Daniel Sedgley on the right. 2nd and 3rd place in the pros at the moment. As you see, Grigic is leading the AMs with Moncada about 1.4 back currently. Sedgley now is coming around turn 7 before he drops into 8. And in front of us, we've got Stefan Mellis there as well, the back marker. So hopefully Stefan Mellis will be able to remove himself from this situation as we go around the carousel. I'm sure he will, jump out the way. Dan, is what we were expecting here from the Blue Flags.
And there he is. He pulls over to the right-hand side, does what he's told to do, and he lets both Daniel Sedgey and Kjetil Larsen through. Daniel Sedgey, I'll be interested to see what he now can do towards Svanjung Mathiesen. Can he try and close that gap up? 12.5 minutes he's left to, well, try and make anything of it. And at the moment, it doesn't seem like Daniel Sedgey is, well, closing that gap quickly enough, James, I would say, to make a move towards the end to Svanjung Mathiesen. But of course, we don't know what's going to happen in those remaining 12 minutes. It is the Radical Sim Racing World Cup Finals, so no matter what happens here, anything could happen in those remaining 12 minutes.
Yeah, we've got Dennis Kyrgiopoulos. He's going side by side at the moment with Guy Robinson down. Currently round coming into the kink. Kyrgiopoulos round the outside. He goes of Guy Mathiesen with Mateus Moraes tucked up right behind him as well. The gap up front is down to 2 tenths again and coming down quickly as we're going to watch this run down the marine sweep go of Daniel Sedgley and Kjetil Larsen, as these guys are racing down turn 4, but down through 5. The interesting thing though, Dan, as well, the gap was out at 2.6 as we see Larsen looking at hanging it around the outside of 5. He's going to try to cut back on Sedgley up into 6. He's not going to get it done at the moment. That's Ole Gunnar Stendrad in front of us as well, another lap driver. So hopefully he will also do the same as what Mellis did. But Stephen Place, Lucas Vieira, Lucas just got him into 6th there. That was a brave move, going uphill into 6th down.
Normally not an overtaking spot that corner, James, because it is such a difficult one. You don't see the exit until you are on the exit, so you have to judge that perfectly. And if you want to make maybe a move up the inside or around the outside, it's really, really tricky to do. So yeah, a beautiful move there to get up into P4.
Yeah, a little bit worried about Juan Moncada here. He's been off track. I'm going to try and show you what happened, so bear with. So there is Juan Moncada in 5. He just goes round and unfortunately drops himself all the way down the order. Whoa! A very diverse way of doing that one. So,
well, he had to, I think, get out of the racing line, and that's why he reversed that much. Because, of course, he couldn't, well, try and get into first gear and try and get rolling again because he would hit the wall. So I think the best possible thing he could have done there for his race and for the others.
Yeah, there we go. There is Stendrad in front of us. Here comes Kjetil Larsen now. He's looking at pulling out on Sedgley in turn 1. Nothing doing here. The gap is extending out in front due to them fighting. That's the problem, though, when you are battling away. The people fighting don't help, do they? You know, they're fighting away. They're not going to be able to get that gap.
No, not at all. Of course, in front of us, we see the Team Slow-Mo car. Larsen, though, still in with a shot at trying to overtake Sedgley into 6, or into 5, excuse me. He's going to try around the outside once again, James. Once again, not successful. He's going to try and get a better exit on the run to 6. Of course, next time round, maybe the slow-mo car is maybe the help for Daniel Sedgley to try and get a slipstream. But I think he's got to move out of the way before that.
Yeah, I think that's the thing in the moment. There are the full leaderboard positions all the way down into 25 at the moment. So we have lost some drivers due to incidents earlier on. And as I say, the software didn't like it at the moment and did unfortunately crash on us right
That's
at the
not a
moment.
good place, James.
No, I don't think Stendrad there kind of, I don't, he would have got out of the way, right? There's no doubt in it. I just think he potentially caught quicker than what he expected. But Kyrgiopoulos is round in 5. Kyrgiopoulos round in 5. And look at the battles of Didier Theobald and Guy Robinson as these guys come running up into 6 now. Guy on the left, Didier on the right-hand side in the black and white. Also in the mix is Diego Iglesias. So they're running side by side down into 8th. It's going to be an interesting one to see how this one turns out as well. Theobald's just gone up the inside of Kyrgiopoulos. There's little pockets, battles, Daan, developing all over the track, and we've still got 8 minutes remaining.
Yeah, we're now 22 minutes into this race, James, and still there are battles all all over the track. And I think this battle we're looking at right now is the closest. Of course, 210s to Kyrgiopoulos, 210s to Iglesias, and Robertson also 210s. So this is really a five-way battle, this one is. So he's going to try and make that move up the inside as Kyrgiopoulos on Didier. Is he going to make this stick? Yes, he is. Now he's going to try and hang it around the outside of the next left-hander, though, James, which is a tricky going to do so, and I think he decides the better of it.
Yeah, I think on that one he didn't really have a choice, to be honest, because he's tightened up Canada corner, which therefore left him in the lurch when they were coming out of it. His exit wasn't quite there. One of the things we are going to be looking at as well is Hugh Simpkins with David Rolliston. This is the battle in the AM class currently at the moment. So David Rolliston and Hugh Simpkins battling it out for second in class, 9th overall. Rolliston's moved to the right-hand side from the Tiger team, and that is going to be job done on Hugh Simpkins. But he's had to tighten up a turn 5. Is Hughes going to be able to get the run up the hill into 6th currently at the moment? He's not. He goes under the bridge, and Hugh Simpkins is currently holding on to that class lead there, Dan, I think, as well. So he's holding on to second place with Grigic 10 seconds down the line.
Well, I think while we were looking at that, James, I think that Rafael Blanco has made a move on Moran Henry as well. He has got himself up into P16. Still positions down on his starting position, though. But, yeah, making his way up the order again.
Yeah, David Rolliston up 15, Ivan Bramer up 21 places, Marin Grigic up 15, Stephen Place up 16 spots for Stephen, but we've currently got Mike Bousson tucked up right behind him at the moment. Daniel Sedgley's opened up a little bit further of a gap that I'm sure Kettle Larson would not have liked at the moment, but one man that cannot open up a gap is Guy Robertson at the front of the battle between Didier Thurbold, Diego Iglesias and Dennis Kyrgiopoulos, as these guys now are running down into Canada corner currently at the moment. And, well, Dan, 5 cars within the space of a little bit of track. It doesn't always work out, does it? So they've got to be clean somewhere.
Well, sometimes it doesn't. Well, let's just say, James, that we hope it works out this time, of course. Kyrgiopoulos now, of course, in 12th in his class. Rafael Blanco, the next one. So these are all for Dennis Kyrgiopoulos, places that are not in class, which is, I think, for him, going to be a bit frustrating.
Yeah, the worst thing is, as well, is top 10 that scores points. So at the moment, Dennis Kyrgiopoulos is not going to get any.
Yeah.
And he's got a long way to go to catch up to Mateus Moraes, I can tell you that much. And I think the terminology of tall order for Dennis here is definitely going to be a tall order. But back to the battle of the arms. Rolliston's got in, too hot in 5. That's going to allow Simpkins back through into second place. David Rolliston from the Tiger team there doing an absolute stellar job and is currently unfortunately down in 3rd. Didier Thurbold has got Kyrgiopoulos closing right up behind him as well. He's trying to get a hold of Guy Robinson, Didier Thurbold side by side as they're going down into 5. Here comes Kyrgiopoulos now in the orange and blue. They're side by side on this run up into 6. Didier on the left, Guy on the right. Going round 6, they're still side by side. How is this going to turn out round 7? Oh, Dan, I thought that was going to be it done.
Well, they were side by side, and I think Didier was pushed out wide there. Now it's John McCutcheon on the outside of DJ. Can he make that move stick? Not quite. He, forces him out wide and respectfully does so. John McCutcheon not able to stick his nose around the outside. I think braked a little bit too late. Got a bit of a wiggle on, I think, in the braking zone, which unsettled him a little bit. Luckily for Didier, though, he can now try and get up to the back of Robertson again. 8 tenths is the gap, so he still has that slipstream, but he has to watch out for the ever-looming Kyrgiopoulos behind him.
Yeah, Dennis Kyrgiopoulos there, Dan, and not John McCutcheon, as you previously mentioned.
Yes.
A little bit excited. But currently Dennis Kyrgiopoulos is chasing down Didier Thurbold. Daniel Sedgley is being chased down by Kettle Larson as these guys come round into turn 5. Mike Bousson is trying to chase down Stephen Place. David Rolliston is trying to chase down Hugh Simpkins. And we've got 3 minutes left on the clock. There's battles going on, and we will try and bring you up to date with all of them. And currently Hughes is second in class at the moment. So for you, Simpkins, this is absolutely incredible. He's holding off David Rolliston going down into turn 5. Rollo's on the inside again. Can he hang it out once more? He's going to try and cut back on him, Dan, I think.
He's going to try, so David Rolliston back up into P-Toto. And, well, he's been there, of course, until he made that mistake a lap ago at exactly the same corner. He went a little bit deep, and, of course, Simpkins could overtake him again. Now, though, Rolliston has got it settled, and now he's going to try and probably a little bit of a gap, if he can do so. Now, this is DJ trying to make the pass, finally on Robertson, and he's finally done it. Not quite done with it, though. Kiriakopoulos a little bit further back, had to brake late, and I think went off onto the gravel, and now has been passed by Iglesias as well.
Yeah, Diego Iglesias, opportunist move there over Dennis Kiriakopoulos, who broke hard and unfortunately got a little bit out of shape, and that unfortunately made him lose that position. Hugh Simpkins now, though, unfortunately for Hughes, he's got Johan Mercado behind him. Now, one of the things that Mercado's had all season is consistency. He's been up and down more times than the Trump Towers elevator, I'll tell you that much. He's been up at the leaderboard, he's been down the bottom, up and down, and he's been very inconsistent. Now, when I spoke to him previously this week, earlier on this week, he has said he's been trying to work on his consistency. But from Mercado's point of view, he's sitting in 4th at the moment due to his mistake again, and he's being chased down by Zuccarelli. So, you know, not the great opening round here of Heat 1 for Johan Moncada.
Well, he still has about 1 lap, because I think, James, we are on the final lap this time round. 15 laps done, of course. I think we're on the final lap here, James. Moncada has 1 lap to try and get up to the podium. Simpkins, though, has previously lost the position to Rolliston, P2, and he's about to lose the position to Moncada as well. He's going to pull out of the slipstream. He's going to try and make the pass into 5. He's alongside them before they go into the braking. Breaks the latest. Can maybe Simpkins come with a cutback? Yes, he can. Up into 6 now. He's going to maybe throw it up the inside this last lap. Not quite able to do so, though. There he goes for the move. There's contact, and Simpkins is off the track. Has spun round. Luckily for him, though, doesn't lose too many positions with that, though. But Moncada also lost a position there with doing so. Zuccarelli now up into the podium spots.
Yeah, Diego Zuccarelli is opportunity to take the 3rd place there as well. The Matheson-Sedgley gap is down to about 3 seconds. Is Matheson going to make it across the line before the end of the race? We'll jump on board with him now. 15 seconds there as well. That could be why we haven't seen the white flag. It was going to be touch or go. We are on the white flag now, Dan. The final lap of the race here this evening in Heat 1 from Road America. Stephen Place has lost that position to Buson. Buson has gone through there. Ivan Bremer is trying to chase down Marin Grigic in the AMS, of course. So Marin leading off the AMS, but we are on the final lap of the race. And that could be why we didn't see it before there, Dan, because obviously we wasn't on it.
Yeah, well, James, on the last lap now. Now I can say we're on the last lap. I know it for sure. Of course, we saw the white flag. Marin Grigic not doing too bad, though. He's in 8th overall, so definitely doing a really good job here in the AMS. Rolliston, 10.7 seconds behind him, but also in the top 10 overall.
Oh, Miles Owens!
No.
Punched the ball! Hugh Simpkins has gone in the pits as well. But Miles Owens looked like he's had a big old snap there and is in the wall. Daniel Sedgley and Kjell Larsen. Not many corners remaining here between the two of them. Can these guys get it through to the end of the race? Stephen Place is still chasing down Buson. But here we go. What is going to happen here between Kjell Larsen and Daniel Sedgley? Final lap, Dan, coming down into the Canada corner.
Well, why can he do it? Is there an opportunity still for him to do it? Or can he maybe, James, do it on the run to the finish line? It's got to be a question that's got to be answered in just a second time, because we're coming down to the last corner, James. If he wants to get that run, he has to get a little bit closer, though. Has to get a better run on Sedgley. I don't think he has it here, because the run might just be a little bit too short for him.
Yeah, we got Daan, Young Matheson is coming across the line. Here comes Sedgley and Larsen. Sedgley's going to take second. Third is going to be Kjell Larsen. And then we go down the order. How is Ivan Bramer and Maren Grigit going on at the moment? Oh, David Rolliston's been off as well. Rollo's been off track and has dropped down the order. Ivan Bramer, Maren Grigit now on this run down to the line. It's going to be... Oh, that was too close for me to even call on that one. Stefan Severia is going to take ninth place. Diego Zuccarelli is going to take second overall. Johan Moncada is going to get third in the AMS, with Warren Henry getting fourth place there. And then behind them, we've obviously got Mateus Moraes and Rafael Blanco. Here comes Warren Henry, fourth in the AMS. We are waiting for others to finish. There's been another off down into the last corner. That is Kyriakopoulos running off there.
Oh, no.
Over the gravel goes Dennis Kyriakopoulos.
I think, James, to be fair, let's just say for him, definitely one of the races to forget. We usually don't see this from Dennis Kyriakopoulos. Usually a consistent driver, always up there. But yeah, I think for him, definitely a race to quickly forget.
Yeah, as we see Paul Clark coming across the line there with Hugh Simpkins coming in behind him. Well, here are the results of the first round here this evening. Take it away, Dan. So we got Sven Young Matheson in first place. Daniel Sedgley in second, Kjell Larsen in third, Lucas Vieira in fourth, Mike Buson fifth, Stephen Place sixth. Then we've got Thomas Renders seventh. Now in the AMS, Maren Grigit takes the victory, Diego Zuccarelli in 10th, Stefan Severia Hergo in 11th, Joan Moncada in third overall in the AMS. So not all is lost yet for Moncada. Mateus Moraes 13th, Rafael Blanco 14th, Warren Henry 15th, Didier Thelbo in 16th, Guy Robinson 17th, and Diego Iglesias is in 18th place. Beyond that, Dennis Kyriakopoulos in 19th, Paul Clark 20th, Hugh Simpkins 23rd, David Rollison 22nd, Miles Owens 23rd, Devon Mellis 24th, Graham Brown 25th, Oleg Alessandro 26th, Damien G 27, and then also beyond that is Kevin Norton. So there we go. Well, not a bad first race there, Dan.
Not at all. What I did bad, I was muted for the results, so that's why you didn't hear me, everyone. I had a big oopsie, so I was there. I just had myself muted. I think, well, James saw that as well.
Yes, James did see that. And here we are, guys. Once again, we're going to be looking at changing over sessions in the background, why this all takes place as well. So we're going on to Interlagos now. And I think it's going to be an absolute incredible race here this evening in Interlagos. It's going to be now, Dan, I think, from people's point of views of whether or not the people that weren't up there, whether or not they look at coming up back for the final race. It would be a shame if people sort of dropped out and was like, no, that's it kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's of course not for the people who did not take points. Let's be honest about that, James. If you didn't take points, it's going to be difficult for you to still win it. But yeah, James. I think in general, they had a good race, most of them.
Yeah.
Of course, top 10 only gets points. So yeah, you're going to have to do well, a lot if you didn't finish in the points to try and win it this time around. And you, of course, James, going to have to get a little bit of luck.
Yeah, but what have they got to do, though? Because, Matheson dominated that, right? He dominated that from the pros. Sedgley was second, Larsen third, right? So what have they got to do now going into Interlagos? Because obviously, from their point of view, it seems like Matheson is just absolutely flying and can't see past what Matheson could do, because he is so quick and has been so quick. What can he do? What can they do? They've got to try and get in front of him, right?
Yeah. Well, it's exactly like you say. What can they do? They've got to try and figure out a way to, well, let's just say, try and pause him, try and actually be quicker. So it's got to be difficult, James. I think in the end, they're going to be able to do it. It's just how they're going to be able to do it, because it's not a guarantee that it's going to happen, of course.
Yeah, I think they're still, going to be in qualifying as well. So they've got the options again to go again, see where they can get up on this amazing circuit. I love Interlagos. I think it's probably my all-time favourite track here this evening. Nice tie, James. Thanks, John. I hope you're coming back for race 2. John, you're going to have to tell me what happened, because at the moment you had that incident, the software crashed. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to show a replay of it as well. So, yeah, I do apologise about that. But, it was, completely out of my control. Wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot I could have done. So, which is a bit of a shame. So, I'm sorry, John. I missed your incident. But I hope you're coming back for race 2. So, if you love the tie.
I think he is.
Yeah, if you love the tie, John, you'll be in there, won't you? So, there we go. We are in race 2 now. And, well, Dan, what are we expecting from this race? Because, there's going to be some hard charges, right? Matheson's actually last.
Yeah.
Regic, Zuccarelli, Moncada in the AMS. They've got to be trying to make that difference currently, aren't they?
It's well now or never, really, James. Of course, last time you can have a go at it, and I think they've got to perform from the word get-go, especially here in this race. We're still in practice, though, so the drivers have some time to get used to the track, of course. They will have practiced it during the weeks. They knew that this was going to be the track they were going to race on. And, of course, now they've got to get used to this track again. Of course, they've just raced 30 minutes plus a 10-minute qualifying and maybe some practice as well. So let's just say an hour on Road America. So they're used to that track now. They're used to how the car drives on that track. So it's good that they now have some time to try and, well, reconfigure themselves to the practice session at Interlagos, to this track, and well, we're going to see what they're going to be able to do, James.
And they have got quali again, so they've got 10 minutes to go again, Dan, and I think that's going to be the important thing, is they are going to be able to get qualifying done once again, because at the end of the day, they've got that opportunity. Now, I love this circuit. This is my all-time favourite circuit, no matter what sim I play, or as some put it, F1 22 being a game. I don't know. It's just there, isn't it? It's just a lovely all-bound circuit.
It is, and especially I think the Senna S's, it's amazing. When you come through, or when you go down there are so many different lines possible that you can overtake there, and it's a great track for overtaking. It's just, like you said, a great track in general, and definitely one that supports a lot of racing.
Yeah, absolutely right, guys. We're going to switch over onto live pictures. We'll see you in a second. Right, here we go now there, Dan. Tell you what, Dan, take us on a lap guide. We'll have a look and find somebody coming across the line for you as we are in practice. Who's currently down in turn 8. That is Kyriakopoulos. Dan, over to you.
Well, Kyriakopoulos is now coming through across the finish line. Of course, didn't have a great race last time out. He's now going to try and do better into the Senna S as we go turn 1. We drop down to second gear. Already get up into third, now fourth, and now into the left-hander of 3. This is an amazing couple of corners. Just like I said, that Senna S, I love it. It's so many different line possibles. I think it took the tighter line into turn 4, then we go. This is a tricky one. You don't want to pick up the off-track on exit. That is definitely, James, an off-track on exit. You don't want to be doing that during qualifying because the lap will not count. Now, through the right-hander, down into 4th, maybe 3rd. I think 3rd through here, but that's just because I like to be in the higher revs. Another right-hander tricky. You can take all the curb on entry here. And then this left-hander, it's tricky because it's downhill all the way to the front. You're going to naturally understeer a little bit wide uphill. You've got to get exit from there. This is a tricky one. Braking and turning at the same time. It's always tricky, especially in this SR10. He did it quite well, though. We're now once again into a left-hander. This one is flat, though. Does take it flat. We're now up into fourth. Down into third. Can take second through there. Wide on exit, and we're back onto the start finish straight. It is quite a long start finish straight, James. A lot of slipstreaming possible here, so it's going to be a good one, especially down this long back straight where there is so much slipstreaming possible. Across the finish line, that's a lap around this beautiful Sao Paulo Interlagos circuit. And for the people that didn't know, Interlagos means between the lakes, in between the lakes.
Well, there we go. There for Dan, we have got the points have come in. Current standings at the moment. Sven Young Matheson is leading the way in the pros. Daniel Sedgley is in second. Kettle Larsen third. Lucas Vieira fourth. Mike Bousson fifth. Stephen Blaze sixth. Thomas Renders seventh. Ivan Bramer eighth. Stefan Lario Kyogo in ninth. And Mateus Moraes is down in 10th place. That's the standings there. Matheson, Sedgley, Larsen are your top three. In the AMs, Marin Grigic is your first place man in the AMs. Diego Zuccarelli in second. Juan Moncada third. Warren Henry fourth. Didier Thurbolt fifth. Guy Robertson in sixth. Iglesias is in seventh. Simpkins eighth. Rolliston ninth. Miles Owens 10th. And Paul LeMay got 1 point for the pole position. And Moncada got the point for the fastest lap. So there we go. That is the current standings at the moment. And some interesting facts coming in from Interlagos, okay? In the AM class, Moncada in the regular season won the race in the AMs with a 129.731. So Moncada there won it in the AMs after putting his car on pole position with a 128.662. In the European AMs, Graham Brown wasn't on track at Interlagos. It's one of the ones he missed. Paul LeMay from Two Brothers Racing took the victory with an average lap time of 129.872 after qualifying on pole there with a 128.6. Now, one of the interesting things about that as well is the fastest laps not matching their laps, their qualifying laps there, Dan. I think that's going to be the interesting thing. In the Americas pros, Lucas Vieira got beaten by Florence Arabian at Interlagos while setting an average lap time of a 129.224 after setting pole on a 127.664. Daniel Sedgley won the race at Interlagos with an additional lap time of 128.553 while qualifying on a 128.053 in P6. So there we go. Some interesting facts from this Interlagos circuit from the regular season now.
Well, there we go. It's great to hear that all those drivers, their previous results, like you said, qualifying time's not really matching their fastest race time. That's also usually because, well, cars full of fuel when they do start their race, and then once you get to the end, even though it is a sprint race, the tires take quite a beating around this track, especially the rear tires, of course, all those slow corners where you have to accelerate from in the middle sector. So tire-wise, something to look out for. It's definitely quite a high deck track, so we're gonna see a lot of it. If you can keep your tires in a better shape than the other, you might have the edge over him. Now though, you're all here and we're so close to, James, the 300 subscriber mark, that I do ask you all, if you haven't yet and you're enjoying the stream, to please subscribe and give the stream a like. We would definitely appreciate it, James. And yeah, we're so close to 300 now.
Yeah, absolutely. As well, it's been absolutely incredible journey here on the JPB YouTube channel. One of the interesting things about this is the prizes that's giving out here. The winner of the Pro and the AM final gets a merchandise package provided by Radical Motorsport themselves, Dan. That's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it is. And, well, let's just say, James, Radical, we know them. I've spoken with a driver this weekend, actually, who's raced a Radical SR3, I think it was, in real life. And I don't know if any of the drivers on track have. I don't know if you have that information, James, but
Paul Clark.
Okay.
Paul Clark actually owns a Radical. I did volunteer to drive Paul's car for him in a series. Unfortunately, I didn't hear back, so I'm presuming that's a no.
well, James, I wouldn't trust you either with my car, so probably a good thing he didn't. But no, of course I'm joking, James. Yeah, he was loving it. He loves the higher revs that the car runs. Of course, with this newer SR10, it's a little bit less like that. This is a little bit of a lower revving car, I think, than all the others. But yeah, it's definitely a great brand, and they produce great racing cars, especially. So yeah, he loved it, and he would definitely go back for a second try.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the thing here as well. I'm a little bit upset that Paul hasn't got back to me. Paul, if you're watching, hit me up. DMs are open. Don't forget, guys, as well, speaking of Paul Clark as well, from our main sponsor this season, from iLoungeRacing.co.uk. So please head over there, check out all of their sims that they've got available. They have got a very wide range of available sims there that you can get involved with. They do come out and install it for you. They do look after you. They do show you everything on how and where and what the sim can and cannot do. Obviously, if it's a static sim, you're not going to have motion on it, but they will show you all of that as well, and they do provide an absolute incredible aftercare service as well. So please go and check out iLoungeRacing.co.uk as one of our main sponsors, or the main sponsor as well. Paul Crab, right-hand tyres overheat 2/3 of the way through if not careful. Just roughly what we said anyway, Dan, wasn't it? The high deck.
Yeah, it's a circuit that is known for its high deck, and especially these long corners. That's where those right-hand tires really take a beating. And yeah, it's well, let's just say that it's a track where you have to be on the edge all the time to be quick. But to be on the edge, you also have to take, well, a lot of risk. Especially, it's a high risk, high reward track. If you do not take the risk, you're usually, James, a couple of tenths off the pace, and especially in a race like this, it's gonna be, well, very, very important that you are on the pace all the time. So maybe, James, we could see some spins, two-thirds, maybe halfway through the race. If so, and it is in a right-hand side corner, we might know where it's from.
Yeah, exactly. We got Lucas Vieira, the Brazilian own countryman here. This is his own circuit. Now, Taurus did say if you switch to blimp cam and zoom, well, I'm going to say zoom out, not zoom in, zoom out far enough, you might just see Lucas in his rig. Well, unfortunately, I can't zoom out too far, so I'm not.
Is he that close to the track?
Well, I'm guessing he is. He lives in Brazil. I know Brazil's a big country. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not sat here going, oh yeah, it's only a small one. So, you know, there's opportunities that he obviously does live close, I guess. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, I know the Netherlands is big. Brazil is quite small compared to the Netherlands, right? But no, of course. Well, yeah, go on, James.
Is it? Brazil's small, is it? Like, Brazil is bigger than the Netherlands, right?
Did I confuse you?
Yeah, I don't get what you meant. I was a bit lost to where you were going with that one, so I was a bit lost altogether.
Well,
what were you talking about?
Well, it was a joke, if that helps. The Netherlands is, I think, one of the smallest countries on planet Earth. Of course, if you count Luxembourg, that's, I think, officially the smallest. I don't know. I don't know how we got to this, but well, I was joking. If that helped, James.
Okay. Well, there you go. Dan completely.
Don't take me serious.
Mate, I didn't really get what was going on. I really severely lost it. So yeah, I'm Yeah, anyway, carry on, Dan.
Well, like Paul Clark says in the chat, Paul Crab, I think, says that.
Yeah, Paul Crab.
He says Brazil is nearly as big as the USA. So I think we can safely say that it's quite a big country then. A country that is known for a lot of things.
Okay.
Of course. A great football team. Great drivers. Produces some great drivers. I think we've seen now, well, Vieira at the top of the table. We've seen Felipe Massa and all those other Brazilian drivers. So, yeah, I think it's a country with definitely a rich racing background.
Okay, well, let's see how it all pans out here in race 2. I am putting a poll up. Who you think is going to be the pro champion between Matheson, Sedgley and Larson, as they are the current leaders of the championship. And I'm going to add another one as well, if it will allow me to start doing 2 at the same time, which I can't. So you got about 5 minutes on the pro champion. And let me know who you think will win that one as we're going into qualifying here at Interlagos for the second race of the evening. Who do you think is going to win the pros, Dan?
In this race or overall?
Overall. Who's going to take it?
Well, I'm not going to go with anyone. I'm going to sit on the fence. I do not, James. I do not. And this is the only time I'm really going to sit on the fence, because usually, you know me, everyone knows me. I'm quite a out there man. So if I think something, I'll tell you. But no, I'm going to sit on the fence. I don't want to commentator curse anyone.
Right, so basically Dan's sitting on the fence and is going to get splinters in the bottom, right? I'm going to put myself out there, right? I'm going to do it.
Brave man, brave man.
I know, but you have to get involved. Do you know what I mean, Dan? Some of us take, pride in what we do. We have to get involved with it here. I'm going to do something unexpected. I think Sven Matheson here on the screen is going to take the victory in the AMs. In the pros, not the AMs, because obviously that would be a complete runaway. In the pros. In the AMs, right? And this is where I'm going to chuck it out there here at the moment. I'm throwing a wide curveball going on. I reckon Moncada will get past Grigic and Zuccarelli.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, well, you've got me so far. I think that Daniel Sedgley is going to win the overalls, so in the pros.
Oh, so now you're telling me who you think, considering you were sat on the fence a minute ago.
Yes, because,
right.
Well, it did hurt.
Did splinters hurt, yeah?
Yes, and, well, let's just say, in the AMS, I honestly, and this is not me saying this because I don't want to jinx anyone, I wouldn't know. There are so many good drivers in the AMS that have finished well last time round that, well, I don't know who's going to take it. Didier could take it, but of course he had a little bit of difficulties, I think, in the last race. Didn't finish too good, I think. Still in a respectable position, but not, I think, where he would have wanted to finish. And, well, difficult one, James, definitely. Moncada could take it as well, and I'm going to go with him. Juan Moncada is going to take the AMS.
All right, Phil.
I have decided.
Phil is in YouTube chat saying Dan likes his splinters. He must have sat on a big one. So the times are in. Matheson, 128.372. Vieira is coming across the line as well. Moncada on 129. Kyrgiakopoulos 128. Here they come. Let's give them a minute. We're not going to be able to pick up every single one at the same time due to the closed qualifying nature, that we are trying to catch the end of people's laps here. So bear with, as we can see them all streaming through. Daniel Sedgley is another one that set the fastest time as well. He's going to be starting on laps, currently starting his second lap at the moment. Stephen Mellis and again Sven Matheson. Severio Hergo is going round as well. But we'll give this a minute to settle down and we'll bring you the top 10 currently at this moment in time. So So there we go. Looks like main people have gone and qualified. We've got Matheson, Vieira, Blanco, Sedgley, Kyrgiopoulos, Buson, Larson, Moraes, Joachim Kjod. Top 10 of the pros. We've got Moncada, Brown, Zuccarelli, Rolliston, Bramer, Tipkins, G, Iglesias, and Owens. Top 10 in the AMs. So Moncada's leading the way, Dan.
Well, qualifying is not over yet, James. Don't hype me up too early.
I'm just saying. At the end of the day, I think Matheson is. I think he's going to get this right, and I say that because Sven Young has been so quick all season, and if there's anyone that's had a good old go and a good old I'm going to put it out there, I'm going to go for it, it's Sven Young Matheson, and that's no disrespect to anybody else. You've got about 30 seconds to get your results in of who you think's going to be the AM Championship. You haven't got long. You've got 30 seconds to get on the poll, get your votes in, who you think is going to be the pro champion. Matheson, Larson, Sedgley. Hit us up. Let us know what you think. Dan.
Well, James, into the last 5 minutes of qualifying now. And Sven Young Matheson in second. Vieira, of course, at his home track. In provisional pole position at the moment. Sedgley in third. Once again, a little bit of a bigger gap from P2 to P3. About 2 to 3 tenths. So Blanco behind that in fourth. Larson in fifth. That is the top 5 in the pro class. We're looking at Henrik Haig is the one who's coming through the last couple of corners now onto the back straight, which isn't really a straight, but still the back straight. James, it has a couple of turns in there, which is, of course, with these cars easily flat. Is he going to come to the pit lane? No, he's just going to, make his run to the line as short as possible.
Yeah, I think they do that anyway. They do cut a lot of that corner. So, it's going to be interesting to see here. Zuccarelli is absolutely flying at the moment and did fly into pole position in the AM class there. So Diego Zuccarelli absolutely flying. Simpkins is another one that's really going well as he comes across the line. What could Simpkins do there, Dan? Well, I think this one could be a lot closer than Road America now.
It's a track that also allows the cars to be a lot closer to each other. Like I said at the beginning, it's a track that allows racing. It's an amazing track, one of both of our favorites. Definitely. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing these cars go at it for 30 minutes straight on this Interlagos circuit, James. And qualifying is always the most exciting part of a race or of a session, because you do get to push the car to its limit. No overheating as of yet, but yeah, it's going to be an amazing one. Zuccarelli in the provisional pole position in the AM class. Iglesias in second, but that gap is about half a second, so quite a big gap there, James.
Yeah, the pole vote is up as well for who's going to be the AM champion. In the pros, it was Matheson, Sedgley, Larson. Okay, Matheson, Sedgley, Larson there. But in the AMs, it's up as well. Now, Diego Iglesias is another man that seems to be doing well here as well, as a few of the drivers are coming to the end of their laps. Stefan Saverio Hugo is coming across the line currently at the moment, done a 1:28.495. Hugs that wall tighter than my daughter hugs her teddy bear, I'll tell you that much. And he goes across the line. There, no improvements for him. So Simpkins truckling in. Daniel Sedgley also truckling in as well. Moncada's finished. Renders is finished. Griegic is out on track at the moment. He's done his qualifying laps, mind you. So he is trickling along quite nicely. Miles Owen is doing donuts. Because, why not? Right?
Practicing maybe for when he wins the championship.
Maybe he is. Who knows? But let's go on to Didier Thierbault, who's actually driving around this circuit as well. So Didier there doing an absolute stellar job. Not many people know this place better than Lucas Vieira. Let's go.
That's showing, I think. That's definitely showing at the moment. He's about a 10th clear of Svanjung Mattheson. And let's be honest, he's no slouch on this track either. So he's also really, really quick. But I think Lucas just has more experience around this track, of course. Probably his most loved track on iRacing.
Yeah, I think probably my most loved track on iRacing, to be honest. I've always thought about taking a W12 round it just to see how slow I actually am. I mean, how fast I am, sorry, because, I'm not sat up in a booth because I'm an expert driver or anything, you know what I mean? I'm sat here because I'm not an expert
For us,
driver.
it's quick.
Well, yeah, I could do, I don't know. Maybe I'll take the W12 out down and see what happens.
Well, we could do that both together. See who's quickest of the commentators.
You're on.
The battle of the era.
All right, but we can't do it yet. I need about 6 years to practice.
Okay.
All right. So when I'm slightly
I'll give
older,
you that time.
All right, because I'm going to need that time. Right, so that is the end of qualifying here this evening. So let's have a look at the final standing in the grid here tonight as well. He's going to have to go some there as well. Lucas Vieira in first, Svanjung Mattheson second, Daniel Sedgley third, Kettle Larson fourth, Mateus Moraes in sixth, Rafael Blanco in seventh, Dennis Kyrgiopoulos eighth, Diego Zuccarelli, pole man in the AMS. So an extra point for him. That's not going to be doing himself any harm. Joachim Code in 10th, Stefan Severia in 11th, Mike Busson in 12th. Diego Iglesias in 13th, Hugh Simpkins 14th, Paul Clark 15th, Thomas Render 16th, Graham Brown 17th, David Rolliston 18th, Johan Mercado 19th, Graham Brown 20th, Stephen Blaze 21st, Ivan Brayman 22nd, Damien G 23rd, Ole Gunnar Stendrad 24th. They're getting on there quick. Aaron Grieg 25th, Stefan Mellis 26th, Paolo Brem 27th, Miles Owens 28th, Didier Thurbot 29th, Charles Craig 30th, Guy Robertson 31st, Paul LeMay 32nd, Warren Emery 33rd, and Richard Quinn is down in 34th place. And I made it before the end. I didn't think I was going to.
There we go.
Go,
Wow.
slow-mo, says Taya Sattenberg. Week 13 next week. Yeah, not looking forward to that one. Considering I'm still not above 2.0 for my AM license, so I might end up being a B, but that's... Anyway, enough said about that.
I have the same issue.
Yeah, I'm not quite there yet. I need to get my A license up. And I was hoping to
I
do
think
it.
it shows why we're commentators.
Yeah, but I'm figuring out where we're at Sunday. I've got a bit of time this evening to run a few more Nords, and I've got Monday to run some Nords as well. So, I could do it in a couple of Nords races. So, depending on how we're going on. What's the time here? 25 past 6. Well, I'm not going to make the 7, but I might make the 9 o'clock at Nords. So, here we go. We wait for the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Heat 2 is underway, and it's Vieira. Oh, Matheson's got bogged down. Matheson's got bogged down, and he got eaten up quicker than a Big Mac at McDonald's, I'll tell you that one. Svanjung Matheson drops it down the order, and unfortunately for Svanjung is all the way down in 4th place currently at this moment in time, Dan. And Svanjung Matheson did not get the greatest start there.
Not a great start for him at all. He's already up the inside of Henrik Hage's teammate. He allows him past, though, I think. Not going to fight that one. He knows he's fighting for that overall championship. Sedgley, though, ahead of him, got the jump on him. Vieira is now the one who's going to try and keep Sedgley behind him.
Oh,
We know that he's... There's a
Mercado's
crash,
out.
though.
Mercado's got jumped down the order. Oh, no. You are Mercado.
Oh, no.
This is Ivan Bramer on the inside, I believe. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Car number 36. Ivan Bramer, it was Ivan Bramer from the Platinum Racing Team, has just torpedoed the man in the opportunity in the AMS out of the race here. And that is Moncada sat in the pits. Diego Zuccarelli has got an opportunity. That's Mateus Moraes. He's going off the Brazilian the wrong way. I thought the Brazil knew which way to go around the circuit. Moraes has gone off, and again there's another one that's dropped down the order. But currently at the moment in the battle for the pros, we have got Daniel Sedgley leading the way on Matheson, while we've got Vieira leading the way on both of them. Zuccarelli doing a stellar job in the AMS at the moment. Zuccarelli is leading away from Simpkins and Iglesias. Regig is trying to come through. Stenstrad's going down the order. That is why Ole Gunnar Stenstrad is going down the order. He is off track there as well. So back up front though, we've got Sedgley, Vieira, Matheson. Well, Paul Moncada looks like he could be done there, Dan.
Yeah, that was not the greatest, that was not the greatest sight to see there, let's be honest, James. Daniel Sedgley, though, already under attack from Sveinung Matheson. And it's going to be a quest for him to, for how long can he keep him behind him. Vieira at the front of the field seems to be, well, quite clear of both of these two guys. He seems to be quick. It's just for him to try and maybe create that gap of a second to not let them benefit from that toe on the straights. Gap up to about 8 tenths now. Not enough though to, well, get them out of the slipstream for this long back straight.
No, it's going to be all on Sveinung Matheson here. How he manages to close up the gap to Daniel Sedgley in front of him at this moment in time. The gap is coming down, but I don't think it's going to be coming down enough where it's going to be making a move into turn one. Ooh, Sveinung. Ooh. We're going to be getting that run now out of the center S's down the Reda Aposta we go with Matheson and Sedgley, the leaders currently here in your pros with Lucas Vieira up in front of him. Behind that, we got Zuccarelli being chased down by Joachim Kjod from Team Slow-Mo. This AMS leader currently, I don't know how much I'd want to get involved in this, Dan. I've got to be honest. I wouldn't really be looking at trying to get involved with that.
Well, me neither. It is, however, good to have a couple of cars in between you and the man in second place in your class. So, well, I think it is a team red line car that is in the middle of those two.
Yeah, it might be so.
Yeah, so at the moment I think he will want to at least keep a car in between them so he can never directly attack him.
Well, Moncada is back out on track. It looks like he is a couple of laps down, unfortunately, so I don't know if it's going to be Moncada's. I wouldn't really like to hazard a guess where it's going to be at the moment. If the man with the scores in the background wants to give me an update as we're going along, that would be absolutely amazing at the top three. Vieira, Sedgley, Matheson, Zuccarelli, Simpkins, Iglesias. Well done. It's going to all be up in arms, I think, as we can see Thomas Renders having a go at Diego Munio Iglesias down into turn one. Through the center S's.
Oh, a touch!
Contact.
Well, he made that move and he made it decisively though, but there was a touch between those two. And I think Thomas Renders, of course, did so well last time out at Road America. Just a race ago and is now down in 11th. Mike Booston is ahead of him though. 1.6 seconds is the gap, James. Still, definitely close enough to close that up. Ahead of him though is his teammate, Simpkins. Simpkins not doing too bad either. 9 tenths still the gap to Zuccarelli, the one leading the AM class. But this though is the battle at the front of the field still. Within 4 tenths is Daniel Sedgley on Lucas Vieira. And he's under attack, he's under big attack. He himself doesn't have any slipstream coming onto the main straight, coming onto start-finish straight. Just gonna have to try and maybe find some pace here in the middle sector.
Well, as we stand at this moment in time within the pros, okay, Vieira will be on 36 points, tied with Sedgley on 36, Matheson on 37. So as it is at the moment, Matheson will take the victory by 1 point, but it depends on who gets the fastest lap, and currently it's Sedgley on a 1:27.72. So it's all tight. If we can get the AMS updated, that would be incredible as well. But at the moment, Vieira is leading the way with Sedgley and Matheson behind him. Behind that, Zuccarelli and Simpkins are now coming together. Dan, getting spicy in the AMS.
There's now no car in between them anymore. Simpkins has overtaken, I think,
Bousson.
Mike Bousson, it is behind him now. So he's overtaken him. It's now a straight fight between those two. Stefan Kjell is now trying to fend off Dennis Kiriakopoulos. He's going to try and make that move up the inside. Behind him, though, it's, I think, Kjell from the team Slow-Mo who's trying to make that pass on Kiri Couples as well. Got forced out wide a little bit there. Is now once again going to try and get up the inside of Kiri Couples. Doesn't really manage to do so. A little bit further back, though. I think that Mike Bousson has got past Joe Simpkins again. So Zuccarelli now has exactly what he wants. And he has Simpkins fighting with Mike Bousson.
Yeah, they should give the Zuccarelli the chance of pulling away. Iglesias is battling it out in third place here. He's trying to chase down Thomas Renders, who's a different class, but Iglesias needs to clear him to get to his teammate, which is Hugh Simpkins, who's also within the AMs. So they need to really kind of get on a little bit here. But up front, as it is, Vieira, Sedgley, Matheson, and currently on the fastest lap here, I think this is going to be... Matheson's got it. Matheson's got the fastest lap on a 1:27.574 in the AMs at the moment. Zuccarelli will win. Zuccarelli will win on 39 points. Simpkins will be on 24. Iglesias on 24 as they currently stand. They need Aaron Grigic, who's sitting in 5th at the moment, to try and move up the order. So let's see where Marin can go and whether or not he can catch up to the back of Stephen Place, which is just about there. But there's a lot of cars he's got to try and overtake, Dan. So, yeah, we have to see how that one pans out.
Yeah, Grigic not in the best position at the moment. But, of course, still some time for him to make that up. Matheson is now, I think, 2/10 quicker he was last time round. Then Daniel Sedgley, of course, they're now in a trail. Look at this, though. This is Gudema trying to make the pass on Stefan. And I think there, James, that it's going to be difficult in this section, but now he doesn't have any slipstream, and Kiric should be able to, well, overtake him with slipstream.
Yeah, we've got 20 minutes on the clock currently at the moment as well. Lucas Vieira is under attack by Daniel Sedgley. The gap has dropped down to practically nothing. Sedgley, Vieira, Matheson, as they stand with Larson 1.9 battling away with Haig and Blanco, then 5.3 to Severio. Kiyode has just got past him as well. So Joachim Kiyode has passed Stefan Severio, who's there in the middle of the pack with the purple and the green-blue car behind Team Slow-Mo's Joachim Kiyode with Dennis Kiriakopoulos right behind these guys as well. Whoa! Joachim got a big blink on there, Dan. That could have been causing no end of problems.
Yeah, that's usually never good when you see that happening. Lucas Vieira, though, at the front of the field. Still leading it, though. But after 10 minutes into this race and 7 laps in, he's still under attack from Daniel Sedgley. I think at the beginning of the race, he hoped that he maybe would get a little bit of clean air and a little bit of time away from them, but it's proving to be difficult. Even I, at the beginning of the race, thought, well, Lucas knows his track in and out. He's got this settled. He's got a gap of 7 tenths. Just needs 3 tenths more to get them out of that slipstream range. But sadly for him, he couldn't quite manage it.
No, he can't quite get it away. Paul LeMay has been involved in an incident, and that's dropped him all the way down as well. So we'll have a look back at that one at the end of the Senna S's. Here with Lucas Vieira, Daniel Sedgley. Sedgley's gone to the left-hand side. Here we go.
I have a feeling here, James, that even though he is not taking it now, he could well be doing it into turn 4 because he's very close now. Less than 2 tenths is the gap, James. Where's he going to try it?
Not entirely sure, to be honest. I don't know where he's going to try and overtake Lucas Vieira. Vieira's putting up a big old defensive wall there. I'm not quite sure whether or not Sedgley's going to get through at all. But with 20 minutes on the clock, time will tell. And there is this little battle here with Joachim Kiyode, Stefan Severio, Hugo, Dennis Kiriakopoulos, and Diego Zuccarelli. Bousson is splitting Simpkins at the moment from getting to Zuccarelli, and I think that's going to be the interesting thing from Zuccarelli. He needs these cars in the middle to try and keep him safe, but he's also got to make moves at the same time, Dan.
He's going to try and get forwards, of course. His teammate, though, or his biggest rival, in the form of, I think, Joe Simpkins, is now only 1.2 seconds behind him. And if Mike Bousson is going to overtake him, he's going to be vulnerable to Simpkins behind him, though that gap now up to 1.2 still. boost on though, getting quicker. Daniel Sedgley has overtaken Vieira though. Vieira hangs around the outside still though. Sedgley has to watch out. They're behind him now. Matheson is not the one to pick up the toe and try and re-overtake him. He's of course not going to let him slot in behind. And I do think he takes that into the center S's though. Vieira maybe trying to line up for a better line on exit. Trying to maybe do something into turn 4. Not quite able to do so still at the moment.
Now, I'd like to point out this season, I spoke to Daniel Sedgley earlier on this week, and he's turned around and said every series he's been in this season, he has won. Not one series he's not in that he hasn't won. He just won an LMP2 series as well. So Daniel Sedgley here going for a clean sweep. Let's see how we do as we wait for the update with the scores on the doors with our man Sandro Cabella in the background, trying to keep us updated. But at the moment, Sedgley has won every series he's been in this season.
I think, James, I don't even have to wait for the scores. I think at the moment as it stands, Daniel should have it. Because, well, he of course gets 3 points more now, and the gap was 1 point to Svanjong Matheson. Of course, what he doesn't want now is Svanjong to overtake Vieira, because then it could all switch in the favor of Matheson. I think with 3 points difference, it could come down then to the fastest lap.
Yeah, and at the moment, we'll have a look. That's currently held by Matheson. Matheson's gone! Oh! My God, that just stared the heebie-bejeebies out of me. Matheson's bullied Vieira. Vieira's gone wide. Matheson just literally got his elbows out. The Norwegian turned round and he come up to him with like the mighty man he is and said, "You are not getting out today."
That was close there, James. That was absolutely close. And he got his elbows out, but is that really what you want to risk here? Of course, you're in such a good position. You could have maybe waited a lap longer. And, well, got the pass out cleanly. He was on the inside, though, so he could maybe have just outbraked him. But, wow, that was close. That was too close for comfort, I think, for Svanjong.
Yeah, but I think Vieira's good. It looks like he's gone, mate. He's under attack from Larson as well. And I think Vieira could be done here, and that's no disrespect. I think it's going to be Matheson-Sedgley battle. I'm waiting for the scores to come through as they currently stand at the moment. Glenn Christensen in chat, clap, clap, clap. David Walters, replay. You would want a replay. He's never happy with the first time, like. God, for David Walters there. He's very demanding this evening, isn't he? You know what I mean? He's on it, isn't he? So we'll show you how this one come about with Svanjong Matheson and Lucas Vieira. Bullied him.
There was the touch.
Yeah, he just bullied him, didn't he? He bullied him out.
Look, that's where Vieira also lost the time. I think that's where he lost the time, and the back markers or the guys behind him, well, caught onto him. But now through the centers, we've gone once again. Svanjong Matheson, a 10th behind Daniel Sedgley. He doesn't have to force anything here. I don't know if we've got the scores already, but I have a feeling that Svanjong could just stay behind Sedgley here and just take the fastest lap. He's not going to do so, though. He's going to try and make it around the outside. The inside, of course, now for Daniel Sedgley. He's going to force him out wide. Doesn't allow him the outside. Now maybe a dive down the inside for Svanjong. Not quite able to do so, but this is the fight, probably, James, for the win here.
Stays as it is. Sedgley in P1, he gets 38 points. Matheson in P2 on 39. Vieira in P3 takes 32. And at the moment, with the fastest lap, currently going to, who has it got? Matheson as well. That's an extra point. So it could be all on Matheson. And Martina Ward, my goodness, James, what was that voice? What was that sound? I have no idea. I think I was breathing in to try and make sure that I looked like I was going to go and hit the car in front. But here we go. Svanjong's going to make it down. He's going to go around the outside. Is he going to get down? He's not going to get it. Oh, Matheson's got his elbow
run around.
Again. He's going to get him again in the S's.
And he's again pulling him wide.
Matheson's full elbows past Sedgley, and now we've got a four-way with Sedgley, Matheson, Vieira and Larson. Unbelievable driving from Sven-Jöng Mathiesen there currently at the moment.
You can see, James, you can see how badly he wants this. You can see he's put everything in to try and win this. But look at the battle behind him, though. Vieira under attack from Kjetil Larsen, who doesn't want to leave Vieira alone at the moment. Daniel Sedgley, though, has lost the momentum. He's going to try and keep up the back of Sven-Jöng Mathiesen to maybe try something on the back or on the front straight again. On the run, of course, down to the first corner, the Senna S's. If he could stay within touching distance of Mathiesen, he might be able to try and re-overtake him. He, of course, needs that victory. He cannot have Sven-Jöng Mathiesen win this race, because then it would be a done job.
Yeah, 12 minutes remaining. We can still got Zuccarelli in the arm, Simpkins in second, Brown in third. We need Grigic to get a little bit further up to make that arm battle interesting. But it's all about the pros. It's the Norwegian, the Englishman, the Brazilian, and now the Norwegian behind, which is Kjetil Larsen. He's also involved as they go running down into the S's now. Larsen's going to try and do a Sven-Jöng there into turn one. Doesn't get him done as well. Henning Haig decides he wants a piece of it as well. Vieira's got the chocolate cake and Henning Haig wants some, I tell you that much, because he's coming through, as is Rafael Blanco. But look up front, it's Sven-Jöng Mathiesen with Daniel Sedgley chasing him down. He's got to get it, Dan, he's got to get it. And the only way it's been put in chat, Dan needs the toe to get the fastest lap. He may make a difference with it, but he's going to have to go some, because at the moment, Mathiesen looks like for the next 11 minutes, he's got this, Dan.
Well, that would be an interesting one, because of course Sven-Jöng won the last race overall, James, or in the pro class. So that would mean that if they're tied, it would go to a countback, because when Sedgley has the fastest lap, he would go to 39 as well. But the countback is not going to work, because Daniel has won a race and Mathiesen has won a race. So how are you going to decide the champion?
Now, there is rules and regulations. Bear with me while I have a look. But if you have a look, the rules and regulations state about there is a tie on there. So you keep chatting for 2 seconds and I will have a look about what that is. I cannot remember off the top of my head. There was a lot of pages there that I was given the other day from my man Sergio Gabella.
Well, Sven-Jöng Mathiesen is now giving, of course, Daan inside his slip. He could try and make that pass again. Of course, he is now close enough to try something into turn 4. Of course, the tricky overtaking opportunity. Is he going to try and get his elbows out? Is he going to try and bully him out just like Mathiesen did to Sedgley? He's going to try it. He's going to pull out. He's going to break lead. And he's up the inside off Mathiesen. He's break way too late. He's off. He's way off the track. Sedgley's into the wall, I think. No, he's hit nothing. But he's way off. He tried it, he sent it, and he couldn't quite stop the car in time. And I think, James, that could be it settled. Because look at this. Sedgley's going to lick the stamp and he's going to send it. But he cannot quite get it stopped.
Oh, he's gone round as well, Daniel Sedgley. Oh, no, no, no. That's not what we wanted to see. Now, as I was just about to give you the updated on the tied scores, that happens. And now Sven-Jöng Mathiesen is out in front by about 1.8 seconds at the moment. Blanco is there, Henning Haig, Daniel Sedgley, Joachim Code. It says Blanco, Haig, Larsen, Vieira battling out as it was. Now, if it was equal, best finish positions beats second best finishing positions, beats pole positions, beats fastest laps, beats qualifying positions, best second best qualifying positions. And if that don't work out, then they just split the prize, because let's face it, that's a long, complicated process to try and work out if they draw.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So much going on. So there we go. But yeah, I think that was a lot involved in that one. And poor Daniel Sedgley could just be about to lose his first championship this season based on that one manoeuvre.
Well, he tried it, he licked the stamp, and he absolutely sent it, James. That was absolutely incredible. Sadly for him, though, the rears locked, I think, and the car spun him round. Lucas Vieira, though, 1.8 seconds is the gap. It's stabilizing around that mark. So if Mathiesen makes a mistake here, he could still lose that first position this race to, well, the only Brazilian at the moment in the top 10.
Yeah, you Simpkins as Plas, Kyriakopoulos. So Eustace trying to get onto the back of Zuccarelli. We need Marin Grigic, who's unfortunately not making the massive impression that we expected him to make after taking his first victory. He is currently sitting 6th in class at the moment. Zuccarelli is out in front of the AMS class and is still doing the business. Severio looks like he's had an incident as well, so we'll try and have a look back at that one. But Paul Clark is chasing down Miles Owens here. Paul is currently 13 in the pros. Owens is 8th in the AMS. So there we go, a big gap between them. But Lucas Vieira, Kettle Larsen, Henning Haig, Rafael Blanco, and Sedgley once again do their battle, Dan. And well, what a battle it's been. Unfortunate for Sedgley, but what a battle it was.
Yeah, Sedgley's now going to try and have to make his way around all those cars again. Lost positions and he fell down to P6 where he is at the moment. But that was an absolute incredible fight. And well, let's just say for entertaining purposes, it's sad we lost, of course, that fight between the top two, because they were so quick and they were so close to each other all the time. And it would have been a straight battle for the championship. But yeah, I think Matheson has this one settled now. If he doesn't do anything crazy, he can, I think, even drop back to 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah, I think so as well. I don't think he really has got to worry as Sven Young at the moment. He's just got to be able to keep that SR10 on track. I know Sedgley's not going to give up. He's not going to give up, but he's 3.5 back from some very quick drivers in front of him. So at the moment, I think it could be done for Sedgley. Guy Robertson, Didier Thiebault here, resuming their battle as they were in race 1, Dan.
Well, just like that time, they're once again at it. And once again around the outside goes Guy Robertson. Made that pass stick on Apollo. And, well, he's now going to try and make that pass on the man out of him, Thibault, but not quite able to do so yet. But he does manage to send it up the inside. That was from, well, let's just say, James quite a far way back. And, well, lost some time with that as well.
Yeah, but I think from Robertson's point of view, Thibault did have a little bit of a major little bit of an incident as well coming out the corner, but the leaders are back at it again with Vieira and Larsen. So we are trying to keep an eye on battles materialising throughout the broadcast. Zuccarelli, unfortunate for Zuccarelli, he's got Simpkins not too far behind him. Now this would have been a different story for Eust if he had not had that incident in race 1. You know, he would have been battling away. And as we talk about the little tight battles that we've seen, Guy Robinson with Paolo Brem going down into turn 1. This is not looking good. Oh, no. Oh, and Robinson just parks it in front of Brem.
Well, he kind of said, you're not going anywhere without me getting spun the right way round.
You've just spun me round, and now I'm not, you know, you're not going. I'm sorry, it's just not happening. Stephen Place is up 6 places, making his way back through the field as well. Larsen comes on the defensive there from Henning Haig. The big puff of smoke.
And a big slide for Vieira as well there. So, well, got a little bit out of shape into the exit of 1, entry of 2, and that lost him some speed, and that could now well be the nail in the coffin there for Lucas Vieira. He could well lose this now to Kettle Larsen. He's going to try it up the inside. He's not going to shoot wide like Daniel Sedgley, that of course is fighting, is allowing Daniel Sedgley behind this to get a little bit closer, a little bit further back though. It's also Blanco and Henning Haig alongside each other. Vieira's going to keep it. Blanco, though, is going to lose that position maybe to Henning Haig. They're still side by side here. We have them in the back of Sean. And there is Rafael Blanco now going to try and make that pass once again on Henning Haig up the inside. They're so close to each other, and that's a corner where you easily touch. But Henning Haig, though, has this one now on Rafael Blanco's. Now going to try and overtake Kjetil Larsen out of him.
Yeah, absolutely there as well. Some great battles, 2x2 at one point. Stephen Place and Graham Brown still locked at it as well. Mike Busson, Diego Zuccarelli, and Eust Simpkins have now come together. So Eust and Busson and Zuccarelli are now getting closer and closer. Stephen Place at Graham Brown with Graham's new livery, mind you. which does look very pretty indeed, is also coming together. Then we've got Damien G, Paul Clark, Miles Owens from Team Platinum Racing. Moraes is also in it as well. Damien G sporting his new livery this evening at the same time. Robertson, Brem and Krasick now all linked in after Paolo Brem spun Guy Robertson on turn 1, and then Robertson just parked his SL10 in front of him down and said, no, my turn.
Well, it looked like Robertson didn't have a rear wing anymore. I don't know if we can quickly go back to Robertson, just for a second here to see, because he didn't have a rear. There we go. He doesn't have a rear wing anymore. So I don't know how he's keeping up that pace. But yeah, he doesn't have a wing anymore in the back of that car.
Well, apparently there is a button in the options for the tech that you can actually take the rear wing off. Makes you faster.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're not making this up, right?
No, not at all. Well and truly true.
Okay. I didn't know that.
No.
Well, that's quite weird, but yeah, well, what's the point of it being there then?
Well, you know, it's just an option to take it on and off, isn't it? You know what I mean?
I've never heard that before. Just take a wing of a car, because, well, it's probably designed, if it's on there, to run with that wing. Vieira, though, under attack there, pretty much alongside Kettle Larson, has his nose ahead going into turn 1 now into the center as you can run round the outside here. We've seen it before, and he's going to do so the inside now for the right-hander will be for Kettle Larson. He's going to allow Vieira, though, to stay alongside. Not quite, though. Pushed him out wide. It looked like at the beginning he was allowing him to stay there. Not quite this time round. Look, as Vieira now has his move done and is now down into third. Henning Haig trying to make that pass as well. And there's contact between the three of them. Henning Haig, Vieira, and Rafael Blanco. All three involved in that. And that is not what they would have wanted. Essentially back up into P3, though.
Yeah, Daniel Sedgley back up into P3. What is that doing for the standings? Zuccarelli and Simpkins have come together. This is the battle of the arms as well. And just to let you know, Dan, there's no button to take the rear wing off. All right?
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So there we go.
I knew it. It sounded too good to be true.
Diego Zuccarelli, you Simpkins. Let's have a look back and see how this one panned out with Henning Haig and also Lucas Vieira and Rafael Blanco. You can see there Haig on the left-hand side from Team Slow-Mo. Blanco, is it Blanco who starts it off? Yeah, he locks up.
Yeah, that's just rear locking, and then the car started spinning around, and then just collected Henning Haig, and well, Henning Haig himself, of course, collected Lucas Vieira, but that's really unfortunate though. Kettle Larson trying to make that pass on Sedgley work once again. I don't know if you can go to the front there side by side through the S's. Here they go. Daniel Sedgley back down to P3. Kettle Larson now in a fierce fight with him. Daniel Sedgley not letting this one go without a fight though. He's going to try and make it around the outside of turn 4 as well. He breaks late again. He braked late earlier here in this race. Went wide that time. Not this time though, James. He makes that pass and is in P2 while we're on the last lap here.
Yeah, essentially now absolutely back up into second, waiting for the final scores on the doors to come through at this current moment as it stands. We've got Simpkins got the fastest lap in the AMs, Matheson's got the fastest lap in the pros. I think Matheson is going to be champion, Dan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, if he wins both, it is difficult for him, of course, not to be champion. If you do the normal maths, if you get across the line first twice, you should actually be able to win the championship. Yeah. Of course, at the fastest lap, only 2 points in it though, so I don't think that Matheson is now going to lose this.
So you are looking at your overall Pro World Cup winner, Sven-Jan Matheson from Norway, doing the job there as well. And then we're going to go down and we're going to follow the man from Canada, which is going to be Diego Zuccarelli. He's going to be taking it in the AMs, your AM champion, your World Cup AM winner overall, Diego Zuccarelli. Get in there, son.
Lovely.
It was good.
That was a lovely.
Get in there, Zuccarelli. Come on, son. I'm pleased
that was
for
great.
Diego. I think that was Diego needed that, and I think that's absolutely amazing there as well. So everybody else is coming across the order as well. So a massive
James,
congrats.
I think we can, definitely say it did not disappoint. There are the donuts, of course. Svanjang Mattheson. Daniel Sedgley, though, I think we're taking up second in the championship overall. Not too bad still for him. It's Svanjang Mattheson and Zuccarelli, your world champions in both pro and AMS. And James, what an event this has been. And, I loved it. From start to finish, I loved it.
Clearly, Sedgley has got the better way of doing the donuts compared to Svenjung. Svenjung is just kind of like, no.
Well, he should.
Yeah.
He's won so many championships this year. His donuts should be absolutely perfect.
Absolutely as well. Where is Diego Zuccarelli? Is he in here as well? Come on, Diego. Get yourself down here, son. Donuts galore there from them guys. And what an absolutely incredible evening of racing it's been here from the Radical Sim Racing. And here are your final race results. Svanjang Mattheson takes the victory and is your champion. Daniel Sedgley in second, Kettle Larson in third, Lucas Vieira fourth, Joachim Kjod fifth, Rafael Blanco sixth, Mike Pousson seventh. Now we've got the man from Canada, Diego Zuccarelli is your AMS champion. In second place was Hugh Simpkins, and then third with Graham Brown there. Dennis Kiriakopoulos was in 10th, Stefan Severia in 12th, Stephen Place 13th, Graham Brown 14th, Marin Grieg at 15th, Thomas Render 16th, Diego Iglesias 17th, Damien G in 18th place. Paul Clark in 19th, Miles Owens 20th, Olegon Stendrad 21st, Henning Haig 22nd, Mateus Moraes 23rd, Didier Thurbolt 24th, Warren Henry 25th, Stefan Mellis 26th, Guy Robinson 27th, and Paolo Brem in 28th place. Well, what an unbelievable race there, Dan. It was literally incredible, and one that just brought it in the end. Sedgley was so close, then he backed off, and then he got handed a lifeline. It was unbelievable. Yeah, Dan, can't hear you.
If Daniel would have stayed as close as he was, sorry, once again forgetting to unmute myself. But if it would have stayed as close as it was, it would have been an amazing fight till the end. Of course, we both know he went in too deep, and I think at that point he himself realized, as well as we did, that his chances of winning it were pretty much over if nothing happened to our winner overall, of course, Svanjang Mattheson. But yeah, what an amazing event it has been. Not only, of course, this race, but of course the race at Road America as well. It was lovely and definitely a pleasure to commentate.
Yeah, absolutely. And what an incredible racing it's been. We'll show you up here this evening some of the replays from the green flag. And while we're doing that, we'll bring Svanjang Mattheson into the booth. Svanjang, good evening to you, young sir. How are you?
Good evening, James.
Is that it, or are you going to give me any more?
I'm kind of speechless, to be honest.
Speechless. Svanjang Mattheson, speechless. No way.
Yeah, I didn't expect this at all, man.
Dude, come on. Did you not get a little bit nervous after the first race, knowing that it was almost in the bag, knowing it was almost there?
I had Sedgley starting right in front of me, so I know he's so goddamn quick. And if he didn't do the mistake he did, maybe he wouldn't gotten me. but I don't know, to be honest. I felt good around Interlagos. I was more scared of Road America,
But you did it.
but I did it, and it feels amazing, to be honest.
Yeah,
Absolutely crazy.
dude, you did it. You know, you were down in third place. You got your Norwegian elbows out. You were out there. You were battling away like four, throwing the Radical SR10 all over the place. And you made it through. And you won. And
Yeah,
it's
the
incredible to watch.
the battle with me, Daniel and Lucas, there was so intense.
You think?
It was so tight. Yeah, I'm sweating like a marathon. It's
Oh,
insane.
I like how you picked the PG version of what you could have said that one. You know what I mean? So thank you very much for keeping it nice and clean on the broadcast there. But look,
Yeah.
it's been an incredible season, dude. The last two races have really lived up to the hype that basically everybody gave this week. And the Radical Sim Race community has been absolutely amazing. They've all come behind this event. We've all put it on social media. We've done everything. But you've come away as the Radical Sim Racing World Cup Division Pro winner.
It's unbelievable. I can't believe it. With
Well,
this field, it's getting kind of proud.
you should be. Comments in chat was just unbelievable. You know, Slow-Mo's Matheson is the champion. You know, Matheson is a beast at one point. That was what was said. You know, dude, you're literally there and got your elbows out all over the place.
Yeah, the entire season, the sprint series at least, endurance hasn't been doing too well, but the sprint series has been absolutely amazing. So much good driving. The pace has been brutally high, and the competition it couldn't have been better.
Well, dude, you deserve it. Well done. You are the pro winner. And I suppose for the final time, before you leave the booth this evening, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to for the final time?
Yeah, I have to thank, of course, my wife and my team Slow-Mo. I want to bring out Joachim and Henning Haig. They have been pushing so much the last week. I think I've done around 300 laps just at Interlagos. And also Kjetil from IGL Coatings. He has been with us practicing all week. It has been amazing. And we put a lot of work down to these two races at the end of the season. And it really paid off.
Well, it was absolutely mega. So, Svenja Matheson, congratulations. You are the Pro World Cup winner.
Thanks a lot, James.
No worries there, buddy. We'll talk soon. Right, I want to bring in Diego Zuccarelli. Good evening, Diego. How are you?
Not bad, are you?
Well, to be fair, mate, I don't know if not bad would really sum up the fact that you are the overall AM champion.
We were just chatting in the waiting room. Like I had no idea who was AM, who was pro. I was just trying to keep position, to be honest.
Well, you are the AM winner. You know, and that itself is absolutely incredible. And you know, surely you need to be ecstatic about it, don't you?
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, I came in with no many hopes, to be honest. Like the field is very, very strong, but got lucky on the first one, and yeah, somehow I found good pace in the second one. I just tried to stay out of trouble.
Well, you definitely did that overall, mate, and you know you've had a consistent season, not been bad at all. You've done an absolutely stellar job, and as you say, you have taken the AM victory, dude. Like you've beaten Europeans to the title. Graham Brown, Maren Grigic, Damien G. You beat them all.
It was great to like be in such like a big grid and with all the guys from everywhere else in the world where we don't used to race with usually. It was like a very, very both very fun races, like quite eventful, but like nonetheless was like very enjoyable.
Well, I should hope it has been enjoyable, dude. And I think you've had a absolute stellar season. I've got to be honest. I think your season has been absolutely incredible, and to come here and to beat the field that you've beaten has just been amazing. And I think that's the thing. It was an amazing feat, beating the likes of who you beat, but you did it. You've done it, and you've now come out on top. And what an incredible thing that must be for you to go away and say, and put it on your CV on your next job application if you have one. Of course, you're the AMS champion.
Oh, for sure. That's going to go right there.
Absolutely. I hope so too, buddy. But look, for the final time this season, before you leave the booth, Diego Zuccarelli, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before you go?
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Like, first of all, to the organization, Sandro first, but everybody that contributed to this like incredible season. It's my first season here, and it's just amazing. And to you guys, because you've been like up like late like every week during the course of the season. And yeah, we're gonna give a shout out to my family, of course, because they support me even in this Sunday. So thanks so much.
Hey, Diego, well, thank you so much for joining us, and maybe we'll have a chat with you next season.
Absolutely, looking forward to it.
Right, so we can bring you up the final positions in the pros, okay? So Svanja Matheson in first, Daniel Sedgey second, Kettle Larsen third, Lucas Vieira in fourth. Now I'm going to bring in Kettle Larsen into the booth. Good evening, Kettle. How are you, buddy?
I'm good as always.
Good? Not a bad evening?
No, it's not bad. I'm happy with the result, but I'm a little bit pissed at myself because I lost my second place in the bottom corner left-hander.
Yeah, but obviously, we're going to be using other words, choice words. Apologies if you have heard the swear word.
Yeah.
Kettle,
Yeah.
Kettle, keep it clean, buddy.
All
Keep
right.
it clean. PG, mate. PG. All right? But look, you've got third place in the final. So you're on the podium at least.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy. I didn't expect that, so I had 2 good races today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you've had a stellar season, being involved and getting up there within the championship and having that opportunity to come to the final is massive, and I think you've done so well. And, you should be proud of the third place, mate.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really proud, and all my team and the guys helped me train and everything. It's been perfect, and it's so good fun to drive this car. And you see it on the broadcast. I think it's really close racing and good racing. It's awesome. So I look forward to next season.
Absolutely there, buddy. Well, for the final time this season, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before you leave the booth tonight?
Yeah, of course. My team, as always, IGL Coatings and Sanna Trafikskole. Team Slow-Mo, we have practiced together. Lasse has been an awesome guy spotting for me. And my family, who lets me do this thing. And you guys making great show, so this has been awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Kettle, thank you. Much love as always. And we'll look forward to talking to you next season.
Yeah, for sure.
Take care. Right, let's bring in you, Simpkins into the booth. Just, of course, is in the AM Championship, and this is how it currently looks there. Just, you finished third place, buddy. Third place overall.
Well, first of all, congrats to Diego and to Svendung. It was really, really good racing this season, and the finals especially as well. Okay. I didn't have any because, first of all, I wasn't sure if I even qualified, but because I missed a few races in the season, just barely made it to the. So my expectations were just having fun, try to do my best, and I knew with the lap times I was able to do, I could do podium finishes. But I'm really happy with. I think it's third overall, if I'm correct. Yeah. 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 Well, it was great fun racing. I'm really happy with the third place. I like to think there was a bit more possible because of the drive-through penalty I got in the first race. I had to avoid some accidents, and I got some car contact, which put me up 11x already in the first lap. So that was a bit of a drag, a downer. But really happy to have recovered in the second race, and podium finish is nice. Well, first of all, shout out, of course, to the organizers, to you, of course, for excellent performance in the broadcasting. Really looking forward to the next season. And shout out to our team, Racing Team Dem Kaap, MGX Racing. Next season will be for sure on the starting line as well.
Yeah, absolutely, mate, as well. So well done to you, buddy, and we'll look forward to speaking to you next season.
Thank you. Thank you very much, James.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Right, so the last interview this evening is with Thomas Renders there as well. Thomas in the pro class, finishing his season in 9th place in the final there. Thomas, how are you? Good evening.
Thank you. Good evening. Yeah, I've been pretty good. I've really enjoyed myself tonight. The first race especially was I was 4th. I think after a couple of laps, it really amazed me. I did fall back. I think because of overheating tires. I tried to take care of the tires, but yeah, it just didn't work for me at Road America.
Yeah, but
And
it doesn't matter, Thomas, how you got there. You got there because there was a big collision in turn 1, that caused a lot of dramas. But it doesn't matter how you get there, mate. You've had a stellar season. You've had a good second race as well. Wasn't too bad getting involved there. 12th in class, 17th overall. You finished 9th in the end of the day, and that's all that matters, isn't it? You got to be in it to win it, mate, and at least you were in it till the end.
yeah, and I'm really happy with it because I've set myself the goal for 10th this season, and of course first to qualify for the World, so for the finals. And yeah, I just figured let's try that again in the finals, and yeah, I managed to do that. So I'm really happy with that.
Oh, there you go, Thomas. What an absolute stellar job you've done there, buddy. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to for the final time this season?
Yeah, it has to be Sandro for setting everything up and organizing, and he's made so much progress the last seasons more than one. And yeah, it's just, you did an amazing job. And of course, again, thank you for broadcasting everything because it's so much fun to look everything in return.
Yeah, you ignore the noises in race 2. Dan wasn't feeling very well.
I'll do.
Don't blame me for this.
I was wondering how long it was going to take him to jump in and start interrupting. There may have been some unfortunate noises coming from me, but what do you expect when I'm sat here in the booth, Thomas? But look, much love as always, buddy, and we'll look forward to speaking to you next season.
Yes, thank you again, and see you around.
See you later. Right, we are back. Well done. I think that just about kind of sums up the season's racing. Everybody was happy with where they were. There was no hard feelings. Larson was a little bit upset with himself. I'm not quite sure what the inverted commas were, but I think because we changed the language. And overall, I think these drivers have done an absolute stellar job. I like to come into the final and go and do what they've done, and Svenja going out and absolutely smashing it, getting his big old Norwegian elbows out and giving it some in that race was incredible.
Yeah, it was amazing, and I think the whole event was a spectacle. I think from beginning to end, it was absolutely amazing. I I loved it, and yeah, of course, great to be a part of it. But yeah, it was absolutely amazing to see, especially race one at Road America. Fights all over the place here as well at Interlagos. Not too bad at all. I think the track, the drivers, or the tracks, the drivers and the cars definitely have delivered more than I thought was going to be the case here, because I thought, well, we're going to see some great fights, but of course the field is going to, there are going to start some gaps that will start appearing. But yeah, it was just for 30 minutes straight, people were fighting within the 310s, which was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. They went about it in the right way. Yes, there was that major collision in turn one in Road America that caused a lot of drivers to not turn up for the second one, because obviously, it was a collision and a half, wasn't it? There was quite a few drivers involved in that. Interlagos was a lot cleaner. Yeah, we had the odd incident and at the end of the day, that's racing. And I think, it is what it is. I think, they've got to be happy with what's happened. They've still got the second half of the endurance. We're looking at starting again in in January. I think it's around about January the 8th. So, sign-ups for next season will be opening as well, guys. So if you do want to get involved, please head down to the links in the description below. Get yourselves involved with the Discord. And you never know, we could be here on track. Now, and I think nobody can really go away upset. Yeah, time zones didn't match everybody that qualified for the final, right? People were at work, people couldn't make it. But they've got to look back at their season and think, okay, well, I still qualified for the final, even though I didn't quite make it there. And from that point of view, I think they've done a stellar job, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. The whole season long, not only, of course, this race, but this is, of course, where they all did it for. Of course, you want to be champion in the regular season as well. But, of course, this is the icing on the cake, this is for them. And, yeah, of course, congratulations to both our winners and to basically both of our top threes, because they all did amazing, and all the others as well. What an amazing event it has been, and of course the drivers have been part of that as well. They've been a big part of how this one, of course, materialized, and it's been amazing.
Absolutely there as well. So guys, that is it for the Radical Sim Racing World Cup. Your champions are Sven-Jöng Mathiesen in the pros, Diego Zuccarelli in the AMs, and that is it. And we have to give a massive shout out, because both of them guys will go away with a full-on merchandise package provided by the guys at Radical Motorsport as well. So both Diego Zuccarelli and Sven-Jöng Mathiesen will get their Radical Motorsport package. And I think that's it in itself an absolutely incredible thing. And it just goes to show how big a job, Sandro and what Sandro has done with this league, because without Sandro Capella, there is no league. And I think, we need to shout out to him and the focus groups that he's put together for the AMs and the pros, for the Americans and the Europeans, I should say.
Yeah, definitely. I don't see many leagues where you have two basically races for your Americans and of course your Europeans, and it's amazing to together see them come together as a group, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, it's good to see them here, all of them, and yeah, like I said, I'm gonna say it again. I sincerely enjoyed it. It's been absolutely amazing.
It definitely has as well, and well, guys, for the final time this season, well, not a lot we are left to say, apart from, well, I guess, Dan, from our point of view, we will be back next season, so that's always good.
Of course.
So, for the final time this season, and a massive thank you to everybody who visited us in the YouTube channel as well. There was a lot at one point, so big shout out to everybody who has joined me, and thank you so much. If you are watching live, please subscribe, turn on the bells for notifications, give the video a big old thumbs up, because that will absolutely be amazing. But coming at the end of the broadcast now, for the final time this season, You all take care. Have a great week. And you never know. We might see you on the track next time. Good night.